Mic check 1 2 1 2. Reporting live from Yonkers, New York, new studio. My man Franz is in the building. I go by the name of Money Mike.
I go by Mainovent.
And we bring to you the Nothing But Love podcast in New York City. We got the big three in the building.
What up? What up? What up? What's going on? What's going on?
Okay, everybody introduce yourself.
What up? My name's Derek, a.k.a. Chico, a.k.a. the Big 3D.
What's goody? It's your boy Sharp. Also Coach Croft, Big E.
I'm Nell. Big Nell.
All right, it's cool. It's cool.
What's up?
So we got to dive into a little bit of the history of y'all. So, I guess describe y'all relationship on how y'all met before the parties, or did y'all know each other before the parties, or was it the parties that put y'all together?
Let me answer that.
Okay.
Yeah. So we started out as Final Four. Back in the day, in the 90s, you know, we was probably, if not the hottest party promoters out. We had the Gators and all that other stuff. But
Okay.
We was
And what year was that? What did you say?
94.
Yeah.
94.
Yeah.
Okay, 1994. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I met Nell through one of my guys, Otis,
Okay.
and Reg, who I went to summer school with. So I met all of those dudes.
So wait a minute, hold on.
Yes.
You look like a smart guy. What the hell was you doing in summer school, man?
Yo, you know what it was. Niggas was in the street.
Girls.
Okay.
Yo, I had a class I had to finish up, but yeah.
Okay,
that,
so, and that's Reggie you met in
I
summer
met
school?
Reg in summer school.
Okay.
So O was from my block, and O was a part of Final Four. So he was like, yo, we doing this thing, give
And that's
me
Otis,
tickets or
right?
whatever.
Otis.
Yeah,
Otis.
Okay, Otis.
Yeah.
Huh? Shout out to Otis.
Shout out to O.
Shout out to Otis from Lincoln.
So he was like, yo, why you fucking with Reg when I'm from your block? Like, yo,
Okay.
But y'all all know O.
Yeah.
O was all over the place, right? So I kind of stuck to Nell. Like
Okay.
I got, and Nell was close to me where I lived at the time. So he would come, grab me up.
Okay.
We'd just go to the thing together.
Okay.
So I just started getting shit from him, like tickets and all that.
Okay.
And we just...
And at the time, that's 94, where was y'all doing parties at the time?
Everywhere.
Yeah.
What was one of the first spots?
First spot was Sweetwater's. That
Sweetwater's,
was March
yeah.
5th,
Okay.
1994. That was our first party.
Wow. Sweetwater.
Yeah.
Sweetwater's.
Yeah.
What street's that on again?
That was like on 79th,
Yeah.
like Amsterdam or something like that.
One of those, like Amsterdam or
Yeah.
the
Okay.
other side joint.
We talking 31 years ago.
Yeah, Sweetwater. I remember that spot. That was a nice spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool spot.
Yeah.
Upstairs, downstairs.
Yeah, I remember that spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
First party was crazy.
Okay.
I think we sold maybe like, I want to say like 600 tickets.
600 tickets. Wow.
500 girls.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like,
Now break down the business side of these spots. Did they ask for a bar guarantee? Break that down, because I want these viewers to understand the mechanics of these parties.
let me answer that one.
All right.
So when we started, 94, the most likely the natural deal was $10,000 bar guarantee,
Right.
where you had to put up either half of it or put it all on a credit card to hold,
Okay.
and plus a $2,500 rental fee. Yeah,
So wait. Let me get this straight.
yeah.
So you gotta hit the 10,000 mark, and then they give you your money back, and they hit you with the
They won't hit you
2,500.
with your card. They won't hit your card if you hit the 10,000.
Right.
If you get the 10,000, you get your 5 if you put up cash back.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
They still gonna take
deposit.
they still gonna take the
25 ain't coming back.
2,500.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the 25 ain't coming back. Forget it.
Now, was they giving bar guarantees back then? Like, you know,
that
like
was the
10%?
bar guarantee. No,
Oh,
they were
percentage.
You mean when they give them
like a bar
percentage?
share?
Yeah.
Nah,
No.
no
So
bar
all your
share.
money came strictly from the door.
From the door.
Wow.
So it was a different time.
Oh,
And out
that's
of
a
that
different
door, You
time
had
then.
to pay
Absolutely.
DJ.
Yeah.
Some of the spots you had to pay for their security.
Yep.
Wow. So it fell on y'all.
Everything fell on us.
Wow.
Everything fell
So
on us.
what was the hold on the credit card? It had to be at least 5,000 hold.
5,000 whole.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it couldn't be no debit card, a couple $100.
There was no debit
There
card.
wasn't even
then.
no debit card.
There wasn't no debit card. So
Niggas had to have a serious credit card back then.
Back then,
Yeah.
5,000 was
Nine
This
a
is
times out of
94.
10, 9 times out of 10.
Okay.
We were 94. I was 23. So
Okay.
I'm telling my age. But yo, we had to go to like an uncle,
Yeah.
Yeah.
somebody pops.
Yeah.
And you know, you get that, yo, don't mess my card up, yo,
Yeah,
y'all
yeah,
better have my money.
Right.
So
So
you
now,
know,
I don't want to leave anybody out. That party, who was a part of Final Four then?
the original.
Yes.
So originally it was 4 of us.
Okay.
So it was me, Reg, Latif, and Billy.
Okay, Billy Council.
Billy Council. Shout out to Billy.
Yeah, shout out to Billy.
Yeah. Shout out to all. Those are my brothers.
All in the final.
So
four,
real
yeah.
quick, wasn't Malcolm a part of y'all?
So Malcolm. So Final Four was, you know, it was a joke. Final Four was like the Black Menudo.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if anybody know what Menudo was.
Right.
Like, you know, when they reach a certain age, they got a different member. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
Remember
Okay.
that front?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So with us, we were all young. We was having fun. We ain't know it was business, but
Yeah.
we having fun. So if Malcolm is my man,
Right.
Malcolm, you know, his family is my family.
Okay.
That was my God family. So
Okay.
you know, his cousin was my boy. He was my
Right.
god brother. So
Okay.
he was family, and
Right.
you know, he hung out with me, and he learned the business. Yo, he was right there with me. So I was like, man, you might as well get down.
Okay. Got you.
So we put
So y'all
it
did the
down.
Manure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Final Four was 5 people then.
And what's my man light skin name?
K-Song.
K-Son.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Malcolm went to school. Yeah, like I said, Malcolm went to school, which he went to Morehouse.
Uh-huh.
So he was like, yo, I still want to be down. So I'm going to have my man, you know, take my part and do everything he need to do up here. And then I'll fly out for the party. Say, all right, cool.
Oh, that's how K-Son
So
come in.
K-Son got
Shout out to
that.
K-Son. That's my guy from back in the day. We did strange things for change, but that's a whole nother story. But yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Otis was Reg man.
They went to school together.
Yeah.
Oh, they went to
So,
school. Okay.
Reg was like, yo, you selling mad tickets. You might as well get down.
Right.
So, you know, Final Four was like 8 of us.
So wait, let me get this
And then
straight.
Ray Bosco got down because Ray Bosco was
Billy's
Billy's man.
man.
Oh, that's
you
Billy
doing
man. So
Ray-
y'all really did a Menudo.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you a weird story.
Okay.
We was all in my crib. I had my own crib.
Right.
You know, at 23. So we in my crib and we putting together the party. And Ray Bosco was supposed to be an original member of the Final Four. But at the time, we were supposed to be the 5 Horsemen.
That's the name of it. 5 Horsemen.
Yeah, we were supposed to be
And
the
who
5.
and who named that?
I don't know, man. Like I said.
Okay, all right. You got a fucked up
90s.
memory, man. The
Yeah.
weed, man. Was it the weed?
So yeah.
31 years ago. You got to give him credit, man. Give him a little credit.
So I'm like, yo, all right, beep him, see if he want to be down. So we beeped him from my
Beepers,
crib.
people.
Yeah,
You heard
we
that?
Beeped
Beepers?
him.
Billy
Hello?
put his code in. Billy put his code in. Bosco never called back.
Yeah.
So we like, all right, man, we just got to do this. So it was around the time, you know, the tournaments and all that was coming up. And we was like, damn, we just going to be 4 of us.
Okay.
Final 4. And
Okay.
It was like,
Oh, Final Four from the
what?
college stuff.
right.
Okay.
So that's how it stuck.
Okay.
And we just ran with it.
Okay.
Ray was like, yo, I ain't never get the beat.
Shout out to Ray Bosco. Okay.
But he
Shout
got
out to
down.
Ray.
Shout out to Ray Bosco, yeah.
Okay. So we go fast forward a little bit and jump around. So y'all do the Final Four parties. That and you come in that part.
Yeah. I came in like right after all of that. Like
Oh, after all that.
so Malcolm was already on, O was already on. Bosco, I think he came
After you.
after me.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
So I was already. Yeah.
Shark, we ain't gonna forget you. Shark, are you a part of this or you later?
We're gonna
He's
bring it.
loosely
We're
a part of it.
Oh,
so
we
that's
don't get there
we
yet.
gonna
We
tie
get
it
there
on-
yet.
yeah, we gonna
Okay,
tie it
I
on
just didn't want to leave you out because you was in the cut.
We
A
gonna
little
tie
too
it on
quiet.
roads, but we always
we
on
gonna
the
tie it
same
all in a
path.
minute.
Oh,
We gonna tie it
okay.
all in a minute.
Got you.
Yeah,
Got you.
It was crazy.
So Final Four days. I remember some of the classic moments. I remember I was picking up chicks. Mano could contest to this. I had a COK. That's when COK just came out. But I was picking up chicks outside. Y'all joints on Fordham Road, Jimmy's.
Oh yeah.
Y'all had Jimmy's on fire.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Okay?
Yeah.
I bought the
Yeah,
COK
Jimmy,
like
yeah, I did.
1999. Yeah.
That's the white one, right? The white
winter,
COK, right?
No,
White
no,
one.
that's the silver joint.
Okay, because you had a
That
white
too.
one.
Look,
You had a
That
white
too.
one. You had the
Yeah, I was doing
430.
my
The 430 was white.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
tapped
stepped into the
dancing, huh?
430. That was the white one.
Yeah. So I pulled up. I never
Yeah.
forget. Pulled up. Party was crazy. Car show in front. Crazy.
Yeah, Jimmy's
Word.
shit was crazy.
Yeah, y'all joints was crazy.
Yeah, shout out
Jimmy's?
to Jimmy.
Yeah,
Jimmy's still out
And that was
there.
my
Yeah,
spot
yeah,
too.
yeah.
I used to get the
Jimmy
porch house from
Rodriguez
there,
was
rice
my
and
man.
beans. That was my spot.
Yeah, nah, Jimmy's was
Jimmy
lit though.
Rodriguez was
Yeah.
my guy.
Yeah,
Still
nah,
my
good guy.
He's
No, he's a
still
good
my
guy. Good
Yeah.
guy.
You
Good
know,
guy.
Yeah.
That's a wild story too. When we went to go get it,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we go get it, and people are like, "Yeah, all right, he not gonna give it to you."
Oh, they was trying to run the racist car.
Yeah, nah, yeah, they
A
was
little
trying to
bit,
run
because
it.
they didn't know him.
But like I said, we was young.
Right.
For a dude 22, 23 going in there and
Right,
saying,
right.
"Yo, we want the spot." He's
Right.
like, "Nah, what y'all gonna bring here? Like, you
Okay.
bugging? I'm
Okay.
not giving
Right.
you my spot."
And what was
Right.
his bar guarantee?
It was the same.
10,000?
10 and 25.
So
Come on.
is it safe to
That
say
was-
like
that was the norm?
is it safe to say like these owners, would you say looking back at it now, they all talk and they knew automatically like
They knew the numbers.
oh,
For
10,000,
sure.
let's make this kind of
For
high.
sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. Back then, it was just, yo, this is it.
And niggas
No,
were getting
nigga.
money back then too. So it was
Yeah.
No,
a
we're gonna
different
get to that in a
climate.
second.
Yeah, yeah, because
Man,
that's a whole different
See,
segment.
it's a struggle now, but back then, 10 a dime, 20. That's like
it was
Yeah.
that was
that
the
wasn't
norm,
unheard.
man.
Yeah, that was
yeah.
it. You was getting it.
They
So
wasn't finagling. They
Yeah.
wasn't trying to hear it. Yo, you want the spot? It's $2,500 for the rental, 10 bar guarantee,
Yo, that's
and I need
crazy.
50% before. I need the
So-
rental and then 50%.
So I want to ask this. First of all, what made y'all so confident? Anybody can answer this. What made y'all so confident that y'all could move 600 tickets or whatever, how much of tickets, to cover the bar guarantee? Like, what was the element that y'all saw in the streets at that time
What was
that
it?
made y'all confident?
what was it?
we didn't know.
I was about to say I don't think anybody
we
really knew.
We didn't know the. We didn't know the
I'm
extent.
gonna go a
of
little
the bar.
deeper because I'm gonna help y'all out. Okay, let's keep it real. Niggas was getting money out here,
Yeah,
right? Niggas was buying bottles.
yeah,
Niggas was, the hard players was flat. Niggas was carrying around 10,000
yeah.
straight up.
Yeah, that was
Paying
was
for
easy.
people to get in parties. Yo, give me 20 bottles. Back then, that's what was
But
going
you
on.
gotta remember, there
The
was
bottle-
certain players back then.
Right.
There was certain guys who was doing the parties.
Yeah.
There was the elite guys was Sparkle Entertainment.
Okay.
That's who we kind of looked up to.
Okay,
They
Sparkle.
was the
And
crescendo.
where was they from?
They was from Harlem.
Oh, Sparkle.
Billy
Okay.
D was from
Yeah.
Harlem.
Okay.
So they was the crescendo. To me, they was the crescendo.
Gotcha.
And then you had Dow Hicks. He had the playroom at MSG.
Okay.
Nobody got that. He had it.
Mm.
You know, Sparkle had the Tavern on the Green.
Oh, Tavern on Green. Okay.
You know, nobody could get that.
Mm.
You know, downtown Freddie Brown and all of them, they had Tavern on the Green.
Mm.
But these was parties we were going to when we were younger, dressing up.
Dressing up.
But then you had the hood parties. You had Same Gang who had the Cotton Club rocking. You
Cotton Club was
had
crazy.
Slick and the Family who had the Playroom.
I remember
rocking.
Slick. Yeah.
You know, you had Best Out, who had all of these joints. You had Shark in them. That's where that come in at.
Okay.
Shark in them. They had the karate joint, right? And they had that rocking.
Where was that at, Shark?
What was that?
125th.
25th, yeah.
Oh,
25th. So let me just chime in a little
Okay,
bit.
Chime, it's your turn.
Let me chime in a little bit.
We ain't gonna leave you out, man.
So it's kind of two sides of it. I used to rock with Denny Moe, who is Wide Open Entertainment.
Okay.
He's about 10 years older than me.
Gotcha.
He used to rock with Sparkle. right? So he's kind of an offspring
So I
of
met
Sparkle. So he was a little older, and he was dressing and all that stuff. I'm straight Harlem. I
Right.
want to do all Harlem joints.
Yeah, yeah.
So I used to run around sports spots in Harlem. All right. So, one day, I don't know how Denny Moe and I linked up. He used to do like Bianca's on the Park and all that stuff. So he had kind of like a little more extravagant stuff.
Okay.
So we kind of got linked up, and he had a little older crowd. I had a little more street, younger crowd.
Okay.
So we linked up, and when it linked up, it was kind of like, all right,
Good
we
clash.
got an older crowd.
Yeah, yeah.
We got a younger
It
crowd.
messes good.
Yeah.
Let's see if we could get the younger crowd to dress up a little bit. All right,
Okay.
they go check out the final. They go to Final Four.
Yeah.
We was going to Final Four,
Yeah.
even though it took a while for me to be like, I'm gonna put some shoes.
Yeah,
on.
we gonna put some
All right.
shoes on. I gotta put some hard bottoms on.
But after that kind of meshed together,
Okay.
we started doing parties, and I started doing parties at Sharks Entertainment. So I had a crew with me, Sharks Entertainment. So we was doing like supper club and things like that. Started doing those parties, and then
We would pull up.
he's a Capricorn. I'm a Capricorn. They would pull up, but I always was going to Final Four parties.
Okay.
I knew Billy first because Billy was from Harlem. We
Right.
used to run around Harlem going
Right,
crazy.
right.
My brother's from Harlem. I don't know how we never linked
Never
up.
linked up.
never
Never
even
linked up.
I didn't
Ran in the
even know
same
him.
circles, know the same people.
Wow.
Until Final Four parties, we didn't rock.
Mm.
But Nell, always kind of a mastermind behind everything.
Okay.
Capricorns, I'm coming to party anyway.
yeah.
Why don't you just celebrate with us?
Uh-huh.
See what you can do. Here goes some tickets. I'm going anyway, and my crew is super deep.
Yeah.
Super deep.
What block you from in Harlem?
I'm from 119th.
119. What's
So-
that? On 7th or 8th?
We hung out on 7th, but between 7th and St. Nick. So
Oh, okay,
119th
got you.
and 7th.
Okay.
Okay.
So we was the Sharks and the Uptown Cuties.
Okay.
Uptown Cuties was a crew of girls that
Okay.
was a little bit older than us, my sisters and cousins. That was
Okay.
a little bit older than us. So they was telling us.
Is that the same crew that did the cookout that I came
Yeah.
to?
Yeah.
And 119th
Yes.
is
We
That
still-
was going on
we
from
in
back
Zip
then?
Block. That's
That-
Zip Block,
that's
right?
from the 90s.
Really?
Yeah.
From the 90s. Yes.
That's Zip Block, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Shout out to
That-
Ron Zip,
Rest in
R.I.P.
peace,
Shout
rest
out.
in peace.
Zip gave
Yes.
Zip gave me love all the time. Threw me in some spots.
Got the crazy
and all
story
that.
about Zip. We're gonna get to that.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to that in a minute.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
guy.
So, but long story short, it just came together
So came through Sparkle.
with Denny Moe and
Denny
Wide Open
Moe.
Entertainment,
Okay.
our parties,
Right.
and then
And then
just
the
linking-
connection, y'all
then
two, because of the
connection.
birthday thing.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Okay.
So Final Four really was just a homage to all of the elite players who we seen who was elite. So like Sparkle, the what's the name? Best Out, Same Gang, and we knew a lot of the cats from Same Gang. They showed me and Reg a lot of love. Like, you know, they were older dudes. Ferg, Mike Boogie. To this day, Mike Boogie is like one of my big brothers.
Right.
You
Shout
know what
out
I'm
to
saying?
Mike Boogie.
Shout out to
And,
Mike Boogie. Yeah.
Smiley,
Shout out Ferg.
rest in peace, Smiley.
in
Smiley
peace, Ferg.
always looked out for us. bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
You
what's
know,
up.
we would be at the door and he'd be like, "Yo, those my two little niggas. Let them in."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we
yeah.
like,
And that meant a lot
yeah,
back then.
Yeah.
Right, that
I
meant
got
a lot.
a story
You
about
was-
Smiley.
Yeah, Smiley was a good dude. bro.
Okay. Okay.
Good
Yeah.
dude, man.
God
So,
bless. God
yeah,
bless
God
Smiley.
bless.
Okay.
You know what it
So
was.
we just, and Slick and the family, we just meshed it all.
Right.
What if we get a dress up like Sparkle and still with the same young cats
Like
from
Same Gang, Best Out.
and the Best Out and their
Yeah.
parties
Yeah.
and just bring them all together. I mean, it's like everything.
Yeah.
It took the guys a little bit more time to get on that page.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Because, you know, the girls used to come and be like, "Yo, I'm not coming back. It's too many girls in here." But then, you know, we would have all the guys outside like, "Yo," with the sweatpants. And I'd
Yeah,
be like,
sweatpants. Yeah, the money dudes.
so the
Yeah.
one thing was, we just had an ironclad rule. You cannot get in here like that.
Under no
Yeah.
I
circumstances.
don't care what you
No,
got
how
on.
much money?
I don't care.
You
if
can't pay
my
$200 to
homie.
get in.
I don't care if you my man. I had to turn my childhood friends.
There
away,
wasn't
like,
nobody, because dudes was flashing that money like, y'all pay $300 right now to get in.
We turned Puff away.
Turn Puff away.
He
Really?
wound up getting in, but
Yeah.
it was a misunderstanding. When we turned Puff away, Puff was at the door like, "Yo," and we was like, "You not dressed?"
And
Yeah.
so Puff was Bad Boy then?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
And this was
They
this is
were
when he
on
was.
fire.
Bad boys.
Yes.
Bad Boy
Yeah.
First.
Fire,
Okay.
fire.
And what spot was that?
That was our
Armenian Hall.
How many? What's that at?
That's on
34th.
34th.
34th
Okay.
and 35th.
Yeah, right.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So it's
Gotcha.
a Jewish synagogue, bro.
Oh, wow.
Like, but they got like this big room. They used to rent it out, and he got in, and I was like, "Yo, man, you
I
are
get
not
it.
in dress code, bro."
Yeah, you're not in disco. Yeah.
And he was like, "Yo, your man told me to come. Let's take it to court, Playboy." That was his exact words. Let's take it to court, Playboy. Your man told me to come.
And who he's
So I was
talking
like,
about?
Yo, who your man? I was like, who you talking about? He was like, him. I ain't gonna say his name, but it was my man.
It was Billy Council.
Billy Council.
Billy Council.
Billy Council, man. What's up? Dress code,
I
man.
remember Bill just dropping his head, and I was like, yo, Bill, that's true? He was like, yeah. So I was like, all right.
Because
man.
Billy Council was at Sharkwell, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Briefly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I tell you the crazy thing. Puff came in. He was like, yo, you know what, man? I rock with you. He was like, yo, you know what? You stood by your guns, B. Like, it's all good. He said, yo, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna buy the bar.
Yeah.
Right.
He said, how much champagne you got?
Yes.
I said, I don't know.
Yeah.
He said, go ask Blue and them, yo.
Yeah.
Shout out to Blue the jeweler. He used to
Shout
be at
out,
the bar.
Yeah.
So he went over. He said, yo, give me all of that.
Yeah.
Then he shouted us out on the radio next day.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he
Okay.
gave out. He
That-
gave
that was
out
even more
mad,
for y'all.
Yeah, he gave out
More
mad
fame.
bottles
Right.
of champagne to people.
And that was Final Four, correct?
That was Final Four.
Okay. All right. So boom. So we go move up a little bit, just a little bit. So y'all do the Final Four things. Like what year you would say that winded down and ended?
2000.
2000 that
I
ended.
left.
Oh, you left.
I left.
And when you left, everybody else left, or you left?
Well, me and Reg was like the two leaders, right?
Okay.
So that's where it originated from.
Okay.
I told Reg, I said, yo, man, we could do parties. We go to everybody party. We know everybody there. We could do parties. People come out for us.
Right.
He was like, I bet. So he believed me,
Right.
and he just ran with me.
So let's get back. So why did you leave Final Four though? You didn't want to do with that group anymore, or what?
No, it had nothing to do with them, man. It had everything to do with me, man. I was just going through it. I had a kid at that time.
Okay.
And I just was like a little lost, bro. Like, you
Okay.
know, the world was hitting me.
Okay,
I
gotcha.
left. And, you know,
So you wanted?
5 years. I
So-
stopped doing parties for 5 years.
Oh, you left the whole party game.
Whole party game. 5 years. At the top.
Okay.
At the top. We was at the top.
Okay. So you leave, and okay. So I want to touch on that. So you said you had a kid at the time, right?
Yeah.
So, is it tough doing parties when you have a girlfriend or a wife?
Oh, let me answer that. Let me answer that.
Yeah, go ahead. You
Okay,
answer
get,
that.
Chico, you ain't talking a minute.
Nah, I'm gonna just tell you.
Okay, good.
When I joined Final Four,
Yeah.
I was married.
Okay.
I
He was the
turned
first one.
21 on my honeymoon, so I was married young.
He's signing a disclaimer, everybody. Don't
Yes.
hold us
This
against
is
him.
what, 94, 95?
I got married in 93.
Okay.
Wow.
Early.
93, something
Super
like that.
early.
Okay, early.
He was the only dude I knew that was married that was our age.
Yeah.
And throwing a party.
But
Yeah.
I wasn't throwing parties until these niggas asked me to jump on.
But how did you pull that off with wifey
This
throwing
is-
parties back then?
This is what I'm saying.
Women are jealous. Like, what are you outside and all this stuff?
Listen, yo, shout out to my first wife. But I gave her hell, my nigga. I'm telling you,
Okay.
he used to come pick me up to take me with him to the parties.
Right.
And he would witness her yelling out the window.
All that.
Yo,
Yeah,
fuck you, shit getting thrown. Like,
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Okay.
But at that age, you know, once I was exposed,
Right.
it was over.
He was turned out.
I was a good nigga before that. I was all right.
Oh,
Like,
you was
know
a
what I'm
good
saying?
nigga.
I was
This
all
shit
right.
fucked you up. And it fucked the marriage up. Is it safe to say?
Absolutely.
Okay,
I
all
did
right.
7 years with her.
Apologize to her.
She know, B. She know.
Wow.
It wasn't right. But yeah. So
Okay.
to answer your question, the shit ain't easy.
It ain't easy.
It's not easy. It's a lot on them,
Okay.
and it's even more on us.
So now for you, did you experience that, like with the party thing? Because you had a new baby at the time.
Yeah.
I know it got to
So-
wear down baby moms and shit a little bit.
Like I had a baby with my wife. So
Oh, okay.
you know, I was married at that time. I got married at 27.
Okay.
So I was married, and I think I was 2 years into marriage before
Okay.
we had Jay, and then
Right.
it was just like yo, man, what am I doing? Like, I gotta get serious. I got 2 kids now. Like, I gotta get serious.
Okay.
I gotta figure this out.
Right.
You know, I always had a job.
Okay.
Let me just put that in there.
Okay.
I've never done parties full time.
Okay.
Never, ever.
Okay.
So, to this day, everything is part time.
Right.
That I'm doing.
Right.
So, yeah, I just was like, I gotta figure this out.
Okay.
And things was just not right. And
Okay.
I just was like, all right, cool. I just gotta walk away for a while.
All right. So, that point, you walk away. Reggie walk away, right?
Reg didn't walk away. Reg exact words to everybody was, if Nell ain't down, I'm not down, and there's no Final Four.
So what ended up
So
happening?
Reg
It was over?
started doing his own thing. Reg is smiley face.
Oh,
You know what I'm
Reg,
saying?
he developed the name Smiley Face
Yeah, and then he
when he
started doing
branched
his
off,
own
and Final Four
joint.
pretty much ended.
Yeah.
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 Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now Final Four is over. You take a break.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us what happened, whoever. What's the next step for y'all? Did the Daytime Boys, was that the
Yeah,
first
that was-
thing or what?
That was later. So when he stopped, I was helping Reg, a little bit. Me and
With
Reg,
Smiley Face?
Yeah, we
Okay.
used to hang out like every day, pretty
Okay.
much. So when he did joints, I would help out. But I wound up going downtown, doing parties now. Like
Okay.
Patty Laurent,
Okay.
one of my mentors. Derek Corley, one of my mentors.
Oh, Derek Coley. Shout out to Derek Coley.
Yeah.
Good
DC,
parties.
shout out.
Good parties.
Lenny the Barber.
Lenny Barber. Shout out to Lenny Barber. Good
Right.
parties.
So-
What are you doing? Still
Good.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
ain't no more.
We'll get back to Lenny. The whole story.
Right.
Lenny, we want you on the show next. But anyway.
So I just started like kind of like subbing for them because I always had a job like him, but I
Right.
was still doing my 1-2 outside.
Okay, gotcha.
So I was outside all the time.
Okay.
And I just started doing parties with them,
Okay.
the people that I named.
Right.
And we started Cheetah Club on Wednesdays. That was our party. So that was one of the biggest joints.
Cheetah was crazy.
Yeah, it used to be nuts.
Cheetah was crazy. Yeah.
Cheetahs was crazy.
Cheetah was crazy.
We was always trying to pull him back,
Yeah.
but
Cheetah could.
yeah.
Was Derek Coley part of Cheetah?
Nah, it was me, Lenny, Peanuts, and Roland,
You talking about Paul Knotts?
Paul Knotts.
Okay,
Yep.
Paul Knotts. Shout out to Paul Knotts.
Yeah.
Where you at, Paul?
Yeah.
Shout out to Paul. That's a whole money earning my version.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. But
Okay.
that shit went on for about three years, like strong.
No. What are the years? Break it down, cause I'm a year guy. Could you?
What year was that? That had to
What
be.
year you left? First of all.
2000.
Okay, you left 2000. So, what we talking about? 2001,
Probably.
two,
2001.
definitely two.
2001 and 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say probably from 2000 to 2003 if I had to.
yeah. No, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
So we were doing one-offs here and there, but Cheetah was the home.
Cheetah was crazy.
Yeah, so we was good with that.
Yeah.
And I just started picking up traction from there. Like people wanted to fuck with me because of all of the work that I was doing.
Yeah.
But I was just outside, bro.
You know, you're a funny guy. Let me get on you. So, I noticed like promoters have a specialty, and what I mean by that is like you might specialize in the women, bringing out the women, or you might specialize in bringing out the bottle poppers. What would you say your specialty is? What you're known for? I'm saying.
Like back then,
Yeah.
definitely the women.
Okay.
It was definitely the women, but I had niggas that was coming out. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
They
but-
coming out and doing they.
right.
I
So,
mean-
so you had the best of both worlds. Two. You had two specialties.
We did 100 bottles one night in Cheetah.
Whoa.
100.
100.
And it's on paper. We could
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
about it.
yeah.
Like with no problem.
Crazy. Yeah.
And that wasn't like just me. It was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
niggas that
The
I
crew.
had out.
Right,
but
right.
I mainly targeted the women.
Shark, I want you to answer that. What's your specialty? What would you
I
say?
think, I don't know if I have a specialty, but I think my thing is being that good dude
Okay.
that everybody mess with.
Okay.
Because again, I was always running around. I was always with money dudes in Harlem. But at the same time, I went to prep school. I went to college. All of that. I had a two-family household. All of that.
Okay.
Everything was good for me.
Okay.
But I just bridged like everybody.
So your specialty is the bridge, because some promoters do that. They able to bring certain people around and on the strength of you, they respect each other for that night.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
That's 100 right there.
No, what would you say your specialty is?
I brought all the Bronx people, bro.
You're originally Bronx. You're a Bronx dude.
I'm a
Kingsbridge.
Bronx dude. Kingsbridge Terrace. I grew up with Kid Capri, bro.
Okay.
That was my mentor.
Yeah, the barbershop on the block,
I was
right?
carrying crates at 16.
Okay.
Going in the clubs. That's how I got turned on the clubs.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? But what really got me was, at first I was like, yo, I want to be a DJ.
Okay.
You know, I used to watch
As a
it,
kid.
and I was like, nah, I can't do that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you gotta be real with yourself. You gotta, nah,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then, yo, we went to this spot called The Building. You might have seen it, that club that Q was DJing in Juice.
Okay, yeah.
Kid used to do that club. It was called The Building. He used to do that on Thursday nights. And we went there, and it was a manager dude there, man. He was like from London or something. But he was young. He was like our age almost.
Right.
A little older.
Right.
And I was like, damn, yo, what homeboy do?
Right.
And he was just mad cool with us. And, yo, we would just run around with him because we had to get there early. So we would just run around with him, and he'd be like, all right, yo, they want a VIP here. And I was like, yo, like, what's your job? And I just got curious about that. You know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, just being with Kid, and that's when Puff was a promoter.
Okay.
Puff was huge, bro.
He was doing big parties. Yeah.
He was big back then, bro.
He was doing Red Zone.
Red Zone. That's when all you dudes.
Yeah,
Young Guns
was crazy.
crazy.
I got the crazy story. The Red Zone.
He did the rain.
Five
Yeah, he
had that
did a
little
few
scuffle
joints.
with Jodeci and all of it. The KC nigga.
That's why I met Five.
They was fighting with gators on in the middle of the street.
Yeah,
That was crazy.
We met Five in a crazy way because Kid used to do Red Zone every Wednesday. So me and Red would go there every Wednesday. This is before we were doing parties.
Yeah.
So every Wednesday we would be there.
Yeah.
And Kid would do it. And this particular night, like, we went 2 weeks in a row, and Puff ain't had Kid money. So I'm like, yo, Kid is like, yo.
What, not all the money?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Kid is like, yo, if he don't got my money tonight, yo, I'm gonna beat this nigga up. So we like, I bet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We dump him out. It's
Yeah,
cool,
yeah.
right? We just can't go back there no more. It's all right, cool.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, my crew, Trooper Love, we was deep too. And we was just like, I bet. So we all go that night.
And what spot is
This is Red Zone.
Oh, Red Zone, okay.
This is Red Zone.
Yeah.
So, yo,
Crazy.
so, you know, end of the night, Puff was like one of the most hyperest dudes I ever met. He was like, yo, bro, so next week I'm gonna have like money for you for like 3 parties, bro. Yeah. Playboy, don't even worry about it. Yo, but I got you. Kid was like, yo, nah, man, where my money?
Yeah.
So now we all circle this nigga like,
Yeah.
where's money?
Yeah.
Is this how we getting back home?
Yeah.
So, yo, where's money? So he was like, nah, don't do that, man. Don't do that. Yo, all of these dudes come. The young gun niggas come. And all these niggas had on the wife beaters. And they like, yo, what's going on? So we like, man. Now, I done seen them at work. Because I was partying everywhere. I just wasn't partying with kids. But I done seen they work up close and personal. So, they, you know, they used to get busy.
Right.
That's what the son niggas was doing.
And they wasn't knifing dudes. They was boxing dudes.
busy. Yeah,
They
beating
would
niggas
just
up.
get busy.
Shout out to
I used
YGs from Mount Vernon.
Yeah,
Fucking
they was-
shit up.
Yeah, they was.
But did he get paid though? Did he finally get paid?
Nah,
What?
nah. Cause
Puff,
like,
you
yo,
did
we
bad,
had like a
man.
standoff. We had a standoff
like
with
that.
the YGs.
Yeah.
But 2-5 was just like, nah, I see these niggas all the time. Like,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I be seeing them uptown.
Yeah.
And that's when I first met 2-5. And I was like, yeah, I see them all the time.
Yeah, if I was
Yeah.
the
But
master
But we
mediator. Master mediator.
Yeah, we always used to shake hands. You know,
Yeah.
we see each
Yeah.
other, yo, what's up? We didn't know each other like that.
Yeah.
And not until he passed away, rest in peace.
Yeah.
And like Facebook came up.
Yeah.
And people
All the
started
pictures
posting,
and stuff.
yo,
Yeah.
you know, happy birthday.
Yeah.
Come to find out, we got the same birthday.
Same birthday. Yes.
So I'm like, dad, yo.
Yeah.
That's why I'm a peacemaker too.
Time out. We gonna pay some bills. We be right back. Nothing But Love podcast. Big 3. See you soon. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. So we back. Nothing But Love podcast. We got Big 3.
Yeah.
And so, Dirk, where we left off at?
I think we left off at around when Nell left.
Right.
I was out downtown with the peoples.
Right.
So like I told you, we did Cheetah for about 3 years.
Right.
Good run. But like I also told you, I was outside. We was busting it up.
Right.
I was doing everything. Not like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying I was getting
yeah,
all this money, but we was getting some money.
Okay.
Right.
And I was fucking with 2 different groups.
Okay.
So at Cheetah, I'm the promoter,
Okay.
but I'm in there with the scam
Okay.
every week. I had the girl on my side, so when I come in, she knew what it was.
Okay.
And this was before swipes and all that other shit.
Yeah.
We had just the punching joints.
Okay.
So she would come to the table, yo, it didn't go through. I'm gonna pass her another one here.
Okay. Okay. Taking your time.
Yeah, so, you know, we was fucking that up.
Yeah.
And we did that for about a year straight. Like, we was good. I get a call one night on my way down. It's the party night.
yeah.
They like, yo, don't come down. I'm like, wow, what's up? Like,
Yeah,
you know,
Yeah.
yo, they got your picture up in the office.
Yeah.
I'm like, word?
Wanted.
You can't come down. It turns out
Yeah.
that we hurt them so bad
Yeah.
that they shut down. So they shut down 2 weeks after.
Damn, man, you messed up Cheetah.
I fucked Cheetah up.
Damn.
I'm sorry, y'all. I fucked Cheetah up.
Yeah, Cheetah
Wow.
was dope.
Cheetah was dope. You know, it was,
was
winding down a little bit. You know, there was a couple incidents in there that happened. You know what I'm saying?
That around the time like Beds had started popping.
Yeah,
Beds was
Bed was popping.
Beds was like one of the
Bed
best
was
spots.
fire.
Yeah, Bed
But it was more, I think, God bless, Twizzy
Big
got
June
popped in there.
had Big June had
Okay.
bed at one time, right?
My man Twizzy got
yeah,
popped in there.
Sunday.
And
Okay.
that started,
Oh, I think I remember that. Yeah.
you know,
Okay.
down. So, yeah, I mean, that was, you know,
So what spot would you say took over after that? That you can remember.
man, I mean, it depends on who you talking to. Like, you know what I'm
Was
saying?
it-
Like,
Was it China Club?
China Club was rocking already.
Yeah.
China Club was rocking
Yeah,
already,
yeah.
but it had its nights. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Certain nights, yeah. I
But
know that.
when they was doing Wednesday, we completely tore them down. Like, we tore Wednesdays up.
Got you.
But I used to fuck with different shit. Like, I was a faithful Lotus goer.
Lotus was crazy.
Lotus used to be crazy on Sunday. That was like
Yeah.
my favorite joint.
Lotus was crazy.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Sweet
Crazy.
16.
Yeah.
All those little during the week joints.
And they wasn't letting it. So for you viewers, right?
It wasn't
Lotus
letting us in.
wasn't. They was very particular on the women that they was letting in.
Oh,
Is that
yes.
right?
That's
Very
absolutely right.
particular.
Absolutely.
You didn't fit a certain look, you ain't getting. They
Yeah.
didn't care. They was disrespectful.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you couldn't be
It
over
took us
120
3
pounds.
weeks to get in.
If you was
We
over
went
120,
down
you wasn't getting
every
in.
week.
Listen,
Am I telling the story right? If you was over 120 pounds, you wasn't getting in Lotus. Females.
I'm gonna say 140.
No 140s. That's
Yeah.
good.
If
they
you
were-
wasn't, if you
You
wasn't
had to be
dressed
120
properly,
120 and under.
And you had to be dressed properly.
yeah, if you wasn't dressed properly,
yeah.
you don't have
You had to have
the
that
right
body.
company
And
with you.
then they did the if you was a guy, you had to come with like two
Two girls, right? So
Yeah.
me and
Yeah,
my
they did
man
that.
went down.
Yeah, that was the
And
whole
we
club.
had money. So we like,
Right.
yo, we want a table, we'll do whatever. He was like, nah.
Right.
He kept saying, nah. So the third time, we bought some joints with us.
Right.
He like, yo, but he notices us every week we come down. So
Right,
he
right.
ready to say no.
Right.
So it just so happened, yo, shout out to 40, my nigga 40 from Harlem.
Okay.
40.
Rich,
Yeah, rich kids.
Rich kids.
Yeah, 140. Shout out
He
to 40.
pulled up, him, Rico, it was a few of them.
Rico.
And he was like, nah, they with us. And they went in, and we went in behind them with the joints. So the joints already felt like, oh, we with somebody.
Yeah, we with somebody.
But just that head nod gave the nigga at the door the stamp for us.
Yeah.
So every week, nah, they good.
They good.
They
Right,
good.
right.
No matter
Back
we
then,
had
that's how it
nobody-
went. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Somebody official coastline you, like people remember that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
that was
I
big.
I got in there, and I remember going to the bathroom. I was like, yo, this shit is amazing. Like,
Right.
I'm in the bathroom, nigga peeing. I'm peeing next to Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Over here.
They have official celebrities in
Anthony
Love.
Hamilton.
Yes.
Right
Wow.
here. Like, we
True
just
story.
all like just vibing. So I was like, yo,
True
I fell
story.
in love with that shit. And
True story.
that right there, that's just was my house.
Lotus was
Right.
incredible. Meek Packing District, right off the west side.
That's a fact.
Incredible.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
So, okay. So let's get into Final Four's over. You're freelancing. He's out the game. So the comeback. Let's talk about that.
All right. So the comeback, I don't remember. Did Onion pull you back?
Nah. So
So real quick, Onion's a promoter that was a part of them. Onion's from the Bronx, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
MI
okay,
Flavor. Originally MI Flavor. Onion was MI Flavor, but
In my flavor, what's that?
that was his group.
Oh, Circle.
They were dope.
Where was they
Yeah,
from?
They were from Gun Hill.
Oh, Gun Hill. In my flavor.
MI Flavor. Yeah.
Wow, I never
yeah.
heard of them.
But
Flavor,
you know,
okay.
he had a unique crowd.
Yeah.
His crowd only rocked with him. Like their crowd didn't
They didn't mix them
veer
in.
off. Yeah, like
Okay.
they had a unique crowd, and it was a dope crowd. So like I always, you know, when I was doing Final Four, he was doing MI Flavor,
Okay.
and then it was another guy who was cool with us that was out there at that time too, JS. JS had
John Sproul?
yeah, on the
Okay,
rocks.
John Sproul. Yeah.
On the Rocks was big
On the
back then
Rocks.
too.
That's
They were up and
Derek
coming,
Saunders.
too.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
So JS, I don't know, man. We just created a bond, and JS is like a little brother to me.
Okay.
And he was like, "Yo, Nell, I know you out the game. I know. But why don't you just celebrate your birthday?"
Okay.
I was like, I don't know. He was like, "Yo, come with me to see the spot." So I go to see the spot.
What spot is this? What's the name of it?
It was a restaurant, and it was 2 floors. It was fly. It was on
City?
5th Avenue.
In the city?
Yeah, 54th and 5th Avenue, I believe. I forgot the name of the spot. If he was here, he would know. But I went in there and I seen it, and the owner was like, "Yo, hey, John, how?" He sat us down. We had dinner. I still remember I had like scallops or something. I was like, "Yo, this is fly, yo."
Right.
You know? And he was like, what got me back, he was like, "There's no rental fee. It's no bar guarantee." And John had worked out a percentage off the bar. He said, "Yeah, now."
So this is the first time ever y'all getting that?
Yeah, so this is the first time, like, so he's like, "Yo, and I'm going to get Onion to get down with us, and we do our thing. We'll do the party together." So I'm like, wow, yo, that's crazy. Like,
This is a good deal.
Final Four, On the Rocks, and My Flavor. I was like, I got to think about it, man. You know, I've been away for a while.
Right.
So I go home, ask my wife, what you think? She's like, if you want to do it, just do it.
Shout out to Wifey. We need more wifeys like yours in the building. Shout out to Wifey real quick.
Yeah,
Wow,
so
crazy.
I was like, all right, I'm going to do it.
Okay.
And we did it, and it came out good, you know.
And that was at the
dope.
restaurant downtown?
Yeah, it was dope.
Okay, that was dope.
All
Okay.
my other peoples, you know, like Shark and Chico and all of them, they came.
Yeah.
And I just was like, yeah, yo, like I missed the game.
Okay, so that was the start.
So they was
Correct.
like, yo, what's up? You back?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm back. So then we cranked up Final Four again.
Oh, yeah,
second
cranked up.
run, yeah,
So
we
Final
cranked
Four,
up.
this is the second run now.
We had a second run, but it was like more of a reunion. We had a reunion, couple of reunion parties.
Okay.
It went well. But then me, John, and Onion started doing parties.
Okay.
And we started doing Fashion 40.
Okay, fast
Okay,
forward.
okay.
Fashion 40 on Saturdays.
Right.
And where's Fashion 40 at? Let the people know.
40th between
7th and 8th.
7th and 8th.
Fashion 40.
That joint was fire.
You had to wear shoes to get in there. It was
I
something
think I've been
with
there
that,
one
right?
time.
It was 2 floors. We had it Saturday
It was
night.
a dress code or something?
Not really.
They
but
tried it.
They tried
They
it.
tried to
Yeah,
dress,
they
because I
tried
remember
it.
I
They
went
was
there
strict at the
and they
door
gave me
to
a
certain
hard
people.
time.
Certain people.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. Okay,
But-
got you.
We cranked it up, man. We, you know,
Yeah, Fashion 40 was rocking.
we had it rocking,
Yeah.
like rocking. And then that fell apart. Then we went to Ida Mays for like one night.
Adam,
Nice.
where's that at?
That was like up the block somewhere. It was a little restaurant. But
Okay.
that's when we brought Danny D downtown. That was the first time we did Danny D.
And all these spots are in New York
And who's
City,
Danny D?
people.
DJ? Or-
DJ,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So Danny D was rocking. I was like, yo, he's dope. But then John was like, yo, I'm not messing with Fashion 40 no more.
Okay.
I'm not doing no more parties, everything. So I was like, yo,
So now he stopped.
he stopped.
Okay.
So I called my old crew, like, yo, because the owner was like, now, what's up? You can come back. So I called the old crew. And we started doing fashion again on Saturday with Final Four. Well, it was just me, Reg, and Billy.
Okay.
And we had it rocking.
Okay.
Had it rocking for a while.
Okay.
And then we stopped that.
So now, just because John left, what happened to Onion?
He left too. He was like, he brought me in, and
Oh, so it's his man.
It was a
That's my
loyalty
man
thing.
thing.
Yeah,
a loyalty.
it was a loyalty thing.
So in the promoter world, people, the loyalty is serious, right? Am I saying it right? You say?
Absolutely.
Kind of
I'm
sort of?
gonna say it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that.
Over the year
Right.
has changed.
Right.
Over
Over
the
the years
years,
has changed.
yes,
Exactly.
yes,
Nowadays it's not.
Nah.
I mean,
Right,
I
right.
still play by that code. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
because I'm from that era, so
Right, exactly.
I still play. By
Well,
that
at
code.
least it's supposed to be a conversation, and if y'all come to a consensus, like, nah, I don't want to be a part of it, but you want to do your own thing, go ahead. You can fuck with them. But it's a conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely.
It should be.
It should
Absolutely.
be.
Okay,
Yes.
gotcha.
So let me ask y'all. So, how important was it to in a crew that y'all had to play your position, as far as because you guys been doing it for a long time. Like, didn't you have to know how far to go? How how do you create your position in the crew? What you was responsible for, what you doing, and y'all never really stepped on each other's toes. Because it seems like you all get along. Y'all never really had no problems.
Are we talking about now, or are we talking about
just from
former?
inception to now. Like, how did you guys, form your hierarchy, rather? You know what I mean? You're playing position. You know what I mean?
I think because we were all heads of what we were formerly doing,
Okay.
there is no position because
It's dope,
it's like
it's dope.
boss.
Okay.
You make a move. All right, what y'all want to do? You make a move. All right, what y'all want to do?
And
So
you all just
everybody
respect
know,
each other.
right?
Okay,
So you,
okay.
if one brings something to the table, all right, we respect that.
Okay.
Somebody else brings something to the table, all right.
Right.
And then we just break it down accordingly. Like,
Right.
how do you want to do it? How do you
But the
wanna do it?
communication was always open for you
Yeah.
guys.
Always,
Yeah, it
for
was
us,
Always open. Sit at the
easy.
table. We discuss it. It was never no drama. And if it
Absolutely.
was something, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
It was not something that everybody would know. You just kept it amongst yourselves,
That's a fact.
until y'all
Yeah.
can square it off.
But I think the key point to what they're saying is there was heads.
Okay.
Like Cornell was ahead, he was ahead.
Okay.
There was heads. So
And that's rare. I mean, that's dope,
You
but
know
that's
what I mean?
kind of rare. Usually, it's like one or two that's you know what I mean? Everybody falls suit.
Yeah.
But to all, to be like that is dope.
But then,
I mean-
but then, so I'm gonna ask you a question. So that era, because people got this myth, where. So I'm gonna say late '80s. One person could literally do a party, and when I say one person, his name, that's it.
Right.
That's long gone.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Shout out to Sean Gray from Mount Vernon.
Shout
But
out to
Sean Gray,
That's a whole
back
fact.
in the late '80s, could do the Palace of New Rochelle. Just his name. That's it. Everybody. It was like a monopoly because who's going against Sean Gray in Westchester?
Shout out to Sean Gray because I went to
Yeah,
see.
Sue's Rendezvous was
Because
crazy.
I remember Kid DJ'd at the Palace,
Right.
and Mary J. Blige performed. Nobody knew who she was.
Right.
And we was like, yo, who's giving this party? And it was a dude. They was like, yo, homie from he from Mount Vernon.
Yeah.
And I was like, word? Okay.
Yeah.
We might have to get Sean Gray up here.
Yo, back then, one person
He
could do the
definitely
party,
was
but
powerful.
by the time y'all got to Daytime Boys, that was a thing of the past. You need help. You can't have because there's so many people doing their thing. You can't do a party by yourself.
I think that's more right now.
Yeah.
I feel like that's back when we started Daytime Boys.
Yeah.
I feel like any one of us
Could
could have done it on their own.
Okay.
I really feel like that. I mean,
It
But
takes,
why though?
it
But
takes
why?
a lot
'Cause
right now.
if
But
we're
why do you
talking
feel
about
that
a week,
Because yours all popping,
yeah, we all had our
Yeah,
own
we
lane.
all had our own.
Everybody
Our own thing.
plays
Right.
to their strength,
Okay.
whatever that is.
Right,
Like
right.
you asked me the question earlier.
Yeah.
There was women that we was dealing with.
But you know what the problem is right now? Why that can't happen? Because I think y'all came up, it was more team. So it's like, okay, this is a Derek party.
It was
but
always crews back in the days. Yeah.
y'all didn't mind falling under, they didn't mind falling under you. Whereas now niggas is like, man, my name ain't going on the fly. I ain't doing this shit. Not fall under you.
Yeah.
Put Money Mike on there.
A lot of egos.
Why can't I be on it? It's like it's slightly changed in the
Lot
last
changed.
10 years.
Nah,
you
you
know what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah.
Not slightly.
So-
Yeah.
Everybody's a promoter.
Exactly.
Everybody's a promoter.
Yeah.
If you
Also-
give a birthday party at a
I'm a promoter.
hole on the corner, you're a promoter
Sean,
now.
Tell the people what a promoter is. What is a true definition of a real promoter?
Ooh, a real promoter.
And this is coming from real promoters, y'all, in TV land. This is real shit.
A real promoter is somebody that's going to put thought into everything they do.
Okay.
It's not just about an event. It's not just about getting chicks out, getting
Okay.
dudes out. It's not even just about money. A
Right.
lot of people doing it for a quick buck.
Right.
We do this because we really try to entertain people
A
and
vibe.
try to give people something of quality.
Absolutely.
We try to bring a quality product every time we go out.
Dope
Yes,
spot,
yes,
dope
yes,
DJ,
yes, yes.
dope flyers.
If you notice, a lot of the spots that we've done, a lot of people wasn't in. They might just be getting in there right now.
Now.
You know what I'm saying? But we pride ourselves on
Doing different.
doing
Yeah,
different.
Yeah.
And you know, this time right now, this era right now, they ain't really looking too much for different all the time.
And I'm gonna say, people out there, this is why it's very important to support the promoters. You know, not every party you could get in free, and because it takes a lot. We're not doing this for free, and y'all complain. Y'all want somewhere to go. So just note that they got to get paid for their services, planning, putting it together. It's a lot, right?
Well, you know, the
It is.
consumer only see the finished product.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They don't see what it manufactured. They don't see, like, we on the phone, we texting, we trying to figure out if this dude's available, that one's
Right,
available.
right.
We trying to do a flyer for it. We trying to get birthdays.
Yes.
We trying to get a host. Whatever it is, you know, we going back and forth with the club, you know, the time they want to give it to us. They don't see that part.
And at the same time, juggling home and family because we're all married.
We're all
Absolutely.
married. And
Absolutely.
we all doing this part-time.
Right.
So, you know,
It's a lot.
we all doing this after work.
Right. It's a
It
lot.
ain't before work or at work.
So
We
keep
doing
that
it
in
after
mind,
work.
people. Y'all want a good party. Support the bar. Sometimes you got to pay. Not every time you can get on the VIP list. Like, just support. You know what I mean? Because they got to get paid for their services. You know, it takes a lot.
yeah,
I would say back in the days it was a little kind of easier in one particular way. Because if you had a certain DJ, that DJ was good for like 800 people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was just about to
What
say
DJ was this? Just off the top of your head.
SNS, man.
SNS.
Yeah.
Okay, shout out to S.
MCB,
Right.
MCB.
Kid Capri,
Okay.
Ron G.
Ron
All
G,
of them.
definitely Ron G.
You know,
Okay.
that was that era. That was that golden era. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you had
Ty
a dope
Boogie, can't
spot.
forget Ty Boogie.
Yeah.
Ty had a run.
Ty,
Yeah.
Ty
Ty
came
had
a
a
little
Star
later.
Child,
later.
Star
Yeah.
Child was
Yeah.
fire.
Star Child, Hollywood,
Right.
Hollywood.
Starsky.
But,
rest in
Starsky.
but they
peace.
talking about a DJ bringing people out.
Yeah.
That's
All the people
kind of
we named
tough
bringing them
right
out,
now.
though.
Right now?
Right now,
it's
This some
different.
DJs
I
bringing
don't
them
know
out.
if a DJ could bring 80 niggas out. I'm gonna keep it
E.
a
Kim will bring 80
thousand.
niggas out. I
It
think.
depends on the situation,
It
though.
depends
And I
on the
fuck with-
situation.
and I
Yeah.
fuck with
Shout out
E.
to E. Kim. We
Shout
fuck
out
with
to
you.
E. Yes.
Shout out to E.
and
Kim.
there's,
Fuck
there's
with
no
you, E. Kim.
knock on the DJs.
Nah.
It's just
A different time.
things have
Right.
changed.
Yes.
Like, you know, like back in the days, we would have to go sit in Lino's for like 2 hours just to design the flyers.
Flyer, yeah.
We couldn't do that over the phone.
Right,
We couldn't do
over
that
the
in the
phone. Right,
crib.
right.
We couldn't just call and text
Right.
somebody the information to do the deal. We
Yeah.
had
So
to sit there, bro.
Yeah.
You next, Poppy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then
Right.
you had an hour to get
To
that
get it right. To
concept-
get it right. Yes.
To get
That's a
that
lot.
concept
Yes.
down.
Yes.
First of all, and then you had only but so many edits you can do. And then it's like, yo, you had to hurry up because it need to go to print
Friend. Right.
by 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
right.
Or you can't have it the next day.
Right,
And you got
right,
to
right.
go back there the next day
Yes,
and
yes.
pick up that heavy ass
That's
box of flyers.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So
They
it was
got everything
process.
digital now, though,
Yeah,
right? You ain't got to worry about
everything
that
digital.
digital world's
This
much
is
so,
the
better.
process.
and then when you get the flyers,
You got to get somebody to give out the flyer.
you got to
Yeah.
go see
Street
Steve
team.
Parker's.
Right.
You got to go see
Barry Black.
Barry Black.
Black.
Rest in
Yeah.
peace, Barry
Barry.
Black.
Rest in peace, Barry.
You
Yes.
gotta go
Yes.
see Henry. It was different dudes who gave out flyers.
Right.
So you had to go see them. And then you had to go to parties.
Yeah.
That
Hand out the
whole
flyers.
week.
Right.
Then you had to go down to the village and put
And
You
then came
flies in the spot.
Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook,
Yeah.
Made it
MySpace.
easy
MySpace
like a
first.
motherfucker.
Yes.
first, really.
Yeah, MySpace.
That
Yeah,
was the
but when
best
I
thing
came into the
smoking
game,
for you.
Facebook, I'm not giving out no flyers. I'm
Yeah.
posting that shit up. That's
Yeah.
it.
That's a
Inbox
fact.
everybody, certain people, stuff
That was
like
the
that.
best
Certain
thing
people in the
smoking,
VI.
man. That
Yeah.
changed the game.
Yeah, that
for
changed the
us.
game. Yeah,
You can start a party and do everything
Yeah.
without leaving your crib.
that's a fact. You ain't got to hit the pavement
it
no
brings
more.
you here right now. Like with all of the social media, all of that type of digital advertising and all of that, it made people lazy. And, you know, it's sad, but that's the situation. You can sit behind a
DJs lazy.
computer
Yeah.
and do that all day. Shout out to Carlton, Rope-a-dope, man.
Rope
Shout out
is
to
Rope is
still
still the
doing
nigga.
Shout out
flyers,
to
Shout out to
bro.
Rope.
Good guy.
Still
Going
going
out
out
there.
there.
Rope
Still get out there,
print
flyers
Yeah.
on cars,
Rope
all
still
that.
give out
Multi-faceted.
flyers.
Yes.
Yes.
So I just shout out to him. But
But he directly giving you flyers right to you. Like,
Everything.
yeah.
No, he hit the pavement.
He does everything.
All pavement work still.
Good guy.
Does
He got a
everything.
party tonight. It's a free
I'm
gift.
gonna
let you
be
know that
honest.
tonight.
I'm gonna be honest.
Tonight.
Out of because Rope came from my era, so there's nobody gonna outwork Rope.
No.
Right.
I'm sorry, nobody's gonna outwork Rope.
Nah.
Rope will get up at 5 a.m. if you want 2 tickets.
It don't matter what the outcome is.
Yeah,
Well,
you want 2 tickets.
what I'm
You
gonna
get
say
there,
is,
you get there and you
from
be
what
only
I
one.
seen,
You be like, all right.
Rope Dope has a specialty. He has an ace in the hole. He got them bottle poppers. I'm gonna give him that.
Yeah.
He
Out
bring
of
a
all
good
the specialty, the bottle popping is serious with
Yeah.
him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got that on Smash.
Yeah.
That's remember I kept saying
Yep.
what you bring,
bring
to
the
the
money
table.
out.
Yep. That's
He
his
bring
thing.
that.
Bring the money
That's his
out.
thing.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
You
his
count
thing.
on him for that. That's it. Boom.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So let's I don't want to say skip, but let's fast forward and someone break down the merge of the Daytime Boys now. Let's get to that.
So when him and JS and Onion was doing parties, when JS left, him and Onion did a party or 2 or 3 or whatever. They were doing dugout, right?
Okay.
I happened to come to one of their parties downtown, and in fashion, 2 joints with me, popping bottles. This nigga goes, yo, you should join us.
Yo, I remember when y'all was doing dugout.
Yeah.
Wait, was y'all doing dugout? Was Bink involved in that or no?
Nah.
At the
That
time.
was later.
Later. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But I ain't think nothing of it. It was just
Okay.
like, all right, fuck it, you know. And we did a thing called Behind the Scenes.
Okay.
Me, him, and Onion. And we did some joints. It was nice. You know, they were smaller. We weren't going for the big, you know, the big joints, but
Sexy joint.
real nice. Always real nice.
Okay.
And once we did that, we went uptown, right, to the Grand.
Yeah.
The
Not
gr-
great.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
Grand on 7th Ave, 125th, 125th.
But I thought the spot on Amsterdam that was
That
the
came later.
opening
That came later.
Nah.
for the Daytime Boys.
So here we go.
Later.
Now he joined with them
Okay.
behind the scenes, right?
Okay.
When Nell stopped doing parties, I'm still doing Sharks Entertainment. So 90s, 2000s, I'm still going. He's downtown. Nell chills, comes back again, still going.
Okay.
We all still going.
Yeah.
So what was that, about 2010?
Yeah.
2010?
Yeah.
Yeah, about
2010,
that. About 2010.
we all link up with
Let me tell that story.
Big Cousin. You want to?
Yeah. 'Cause
All right.
you missing one part.
Okay.
Derek Corley called me.
Okay.
And he was like, yo, I need you to come see the spot now. And I was like, where is it? He was like, 124th and 7th. And I was like, what the hell is over there?
That's the Grand.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
126.
remember, that was
126,
126?
Yeah.
126.
126 in Lenox. So I was like, what's over there? And then I was like, was that seafood spot that was open like for like 2 minutes?
And that's when they got rid of the bowling alley, right?
No, the bowling alley was
it was
still
still
there.
there
It was
at
still
that
there.
time.
Okay, gotcha.
So I go see the spot. So he was like, yeah, I'm putting together a team now, and I want you to be a part of it. I got my man, this, that, blah, blah. I said, yo, I want the spot, but if you let me put together, the only way I'm doing it is if you let me put together the team.
Mind you, he called me too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hadn't spoken to him yet.
Okay.
So Corley called me. He called Cornell. So
So now he's like, you gonna put together the team, see? I say, yo, we in Harlem, we ain't gonna lose.
Right.
What I'm gonna bring, we ain't gonna lose.
Okay.
So I called Chico. Chico was like, yo, I bet I'm in. Well, he was in anyway because he was part of my group.
Right.
I said, who else we gonna put down? I said, let me call Reg. Reg was like, yeah, I bet I'm down. He called, what's her name? He called Billy.
Okay.
He put Billy down with it. He was like, I bet I'm down. was like, yo, we need somebody else. He was like, yo, what about Shark? I said, yo, you right. I just seen Shark the other day. I said, yo, who got Shark number, man?
Okay.
We called Shark. Shark was like, bet, I'm in.
Okay.
So that was the foundation. So we started doing Fridays at the Grand.
Okay.
Boy,
I remember that.
boy,
Killed it.
I remember that.
boy, it was
Killed
the
it.
hottest
That shit was
joint.
crazy.
Killed it.
I remember that.
It was the hottest
I
joint.
think I've been there one time.
I remember
The
that.
That
hottest
weekly
joint
was
was the hottest
crazy.
Yeah, I remember
weekly.
that.
Bought that feeling back.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
remember
we
that.
bought that
So-
feeling
Yeah, I
back.
remember that. I remember that.
And you know,
That's
it was
me and him got cool for
Yeah.
it was wild because it was like celebrities just popping up. Carl Thomas,
Yeah.
the dude who did Biggie movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
great.
it was just
Yeah.
mad
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
just popping up. And we was like, yo, like this is on fire.
Fire.
So when did Bink come in?
So Bink used to come to the joint.
Bink was my man. Bink is my childhood friend.
Right.
Yeah, they grew up together.
We grew up
Okay.
together.
He was all right, but
I did a couple of parties with Bink before this. too.
Okay, gotcha.
Couple
Shout out to
And,
Bink.
Yeah, shout out to
Bink
Bink.
Bink Buddha.
Yeah, shout out.
I didn't know Bink that well.
at the time. Right.
We had some promoted games that I played with him, but I didn't really know him that well.
Okay.
But he was there like every Friday.
Okay.
And it was weird to me. He might have known what was going on. He was just like watching, like looking and observing. I'm like, what's going on with this nigga?
Yeah.
So every Friday he there. So he cracked the question. He's the one who actually asked us to do the daytime parties.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We wasn't even thinking about none of that shit. So he brought up the idea like, yo,
Oh, so the Daytime Boys concert came from Bink.
Yeah.
yes,
Shout out to Bink with
Yes.
the vision. But we'll
Yes.
get back to that.
yes.
Okay.
So Bink, so watching us every Friday, his wheels, you can see his wheels spinning
Right.
every week. Because I know he was like, I'm supposed to be on this.
yeah.
In his mind, I'm supposed to be on this.
yeah,
It
yeah,
was
yeah.
so
This is my
dope.
spot.
Spinning, spinning,
Fridays
spinning.
was so dope.
Yeah.
So I'm on a 2011. I'm on a family cruise, right? Family cruise, and shout out to Rika. I get a phone call.
Shout out to Rika.
I get a call on the cruise. Rika's like, I know this is expensive, but I need you to call me. This is the message. She was like, this dude named Bink is looking for you. Looking for you. I'm like, all right, when I get home, I'll check it out. But then I'm hearing, what's going on already. So I get home, Bink is like, yo, I already got Nail down. I got Chico down. I got Onion down. We need you. We want to do day parties. I'm like, day parties.
And that was something new because at the time nobody was doing that, correct?
Dave.
Not in New York.
Hence,
New
hence
York.
the Daytime Boys.
Yeah.
That's how you got the name.
There
That's
was
why
one.
Brooklyn-
There was one
Right.
person doing it.
Who's
But
that?
it came from like the South. It
The
came
South.
from the South.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like day parties kind of like originated like a college. It was like a
Yeah,
college.
yeah.
thing. So,
But in New York, nobody was
So,
doing
and
And you
that.
said that's
in New York.
2011, right?
yeah.
My man Tion did one.
Tion.
Okay.
I used to
Ice
work
cream
with him.
social. He used to call it ice cream social.
Okay.
But he came from that school, that I
Norfolk
forgot,
State.
yeah, Norfolk State, right?
Okay.
And they did a nice job, but they wasn't really trying to move, like you know what I'm saying. They did it one time.
That was it.
It was cool,
Yeah.
like niggas was like, yo, that was dope, but nobody really thought of nothing.
I went there and I was bugging because I was like, yo, they really partying like in the day.
Yeah,
This is wild to me.
So Bink is formulating y'all. How does Onion come in the picture?
Well, remember,
he was a part of us. He was already down with us.
down
Oh, so y'all
behind the
ran
scenes.
across him, and then he was like,
we
"I
just
bet."
ran it
Yeah.
back. The only ones we didn't, we had the same team from the Friday night.
Yeah.
It just was in Reg and Billy wasn't on it.
Right.
So it
Okay.
was just Bink
Yeah.
in place of Reg and Billy.
Oh, so Onion's a part of the grant.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a part of the grant. Okay,
Yes.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you look at
Oh,
our
so it's
first
easy for
day
y'all.
party, if
Okay.
you look at our first day party flyer, it was Bink Buddha behind the scenes, Sharks Entertainment.
It wasn't.
No
We didn't have a
Daytime
name
Boys.
yet. We didn't have
Okay.
Daytime
It
Boys.
wasn't
yet.
We,
Daytime
the
Boys.
3 groups
Okay.
doing a day party.
It was actually the owner or the bartender that called us the Daytime Boys.
It was actually somebody else going to the parties
Yeah.
and was
Okay,
like,
yeah, I
"Oh,
can't-
the
'Cause the
Daytime
Daytime-
Boys."
oh, 'cause the Daytime-
yeah,
and that's
this
tough.
happened to call us that, and
And y'all first started doing the daytime parties on Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
420.
spot 420, right?
Yes.
Correct?
420.
Yo,
Okay.
when I
Absolutely.
tell you,
It sucked.
That was
we
incredible.
was leaving there with $2 a piece.
Yeah, it sucked. The
Like-
first,
Yo, listen,
the
'cause-
first 3 joints sucked, bro.
Because y'all at first it was free or $5.
It was free.
It was free.
It was
And then y'all
free.
did
We
$5.
had food.
We asked for
we did
$5.
Yeah.
way after.
Because
Oh,
we
way
wanted to pay for the food.
Yeah, to pay
Pay for the food. Okay,
Right.
yeah,
So
I
we was
remember that.
giving the food away,
We was getting
Yes.
free food out.
but $5 donation.
So
or whatever.
real quick, I want to give y'all a shout out on 420. Yo, man, listen.
What's up?
I went to 420. I was very impressed. Yo, there's people going there in blazers.
Yeah. Okay.
These niggas made me put on a blazer with a tie. I mean, I freaked it with the jeans and the Maurice and shit.
Maurice, okay.
But I went, I never forget. I was like, yo, I like this shit.
You had the Cardis on?
Nah.
You had
But
the Cardis?
I felt like next time I come, I'm gonna put a blazer on with the tie. I took it over the top with the tie.
Okay.
Because it was classy. Like
Right.
I see, it was a mixed crowd. Niggas had the jeans on, but there was dudes in there with like blazers on. So I was like, oh, this is kind of different. And then the whole daytime scene was different.
Right.
Like nobody was doing that.
Yeah.
That was new.
And the women were crazy.
The women.
And I'm going to tap on that too.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
I'm going to
yes.
tap on that question. Go ahead.
I'm gonna let you pick up from there. Go ahead.
But hold on, let me ask the question first. So, with all the history you guys got, what keeps the ladies coming back to mess with y'all? Because without the ladies, y'all basically wouldn't be, you know what I mean? Y'all got the ladies coming to your I've been to your parties. So you gotta let the people know what brings the ladies to your show, to your parties.
I think just
What keeps
being
them coming?
respectful, man. Like, you give that energy off to them. You
Okay.
make sure that they taken care of. You know how women are. Sometimes they could be a little over the top, but you got to make sure you handle them properly.
Right.
And I think all of us have always made sure that they was good to the best of our ability.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So respect the number one rule. Respect
Yes,
them.
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Right.
Like, that's
But
that's
a lot
their
of them
dollar.
come with a lot of baggage. Oh, get my girlfriend, then I'm on the.
Yeah.
But remember, this is a day party.
Okay.
Started off free. Then it was $5, so that ain't nothing
Oh,
to
okay,
be
right, it is free, right.
really
Yeah.
issuing
Okay.
about.
Yeah.
But it was working people, good people. Like the earlier
Yes,
it was,
yeah.
it was
Right.
working good people. This is like an official after work good people party
Right.
back then.
The
Like,
product
almost
No
like
one
Pearls.
was doing that.
Almost like
I don't want
Pearls.
to put that out there.
Pearls back in the days, like
Right.
that. Like
Like
that.
No
was
one was doing
Saturday.
it neither.
On a
Right.
Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nobody was doing it.
Nah, nobody was
was
doing
doing
it.
it.
That was crazy. It was
So-
crazy.
But to keep the female crowd is
So
crazy.
I want to go back to something because y'all jumped around. So I do remember y'all was at Grand, and after Grand, y'all party at Grand. I just remember everybody went to fuck it.
Yeah.
One of those
That
parties.
was
Right?
after. So that was after 420.
Yo,
Right.
we shut the grand down.
So we did Grand.
Yeah.
They closed the Grand down.
Right.
Right.
Whatever. We was doing 420.
Right.
I think we came back up right before the Grand closed
Right.
and did it once or twice.
Right.
But it's the same dude, shout out to Derek,
Yeah.
gave us a call and was like, "Yo, I got another spot."
Yeah.
Which was
fuck it.
Phuket over there.
Yeah. Phuket was crazy.
And I think that's where it really took off.
Yeah.
So
Phuket
let
was
me
crazy.
give you a little. Let me add to that a little bit.
Okay.
The reason why we came uptown, we outgrew 420.
Yeah.
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 For sure.
I mean, it was like jam packed.
Looked like a block
And then we
party.
would have like the whole
But
sidewalk.
but you know what I didn't like?
Everything.
I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Y'all was the first to do working classy people, dudes with blazers. But I felt like when y'all came uptown to the ground, you had the sweatsuit crowd.
We did.
And it's like
that was a sweatsuit edition.
For the grand,
We
Yeah,
did a
yeah,
sweatsuit
the
edition.
grand, like yeah.
See,
it
you're
was-
thinking more. That was more Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Friday was a just come as you are, like
Yeah.
straight
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
Okay, right,
Yeah.
right, right.
Back in the days,
right,
like
right.
tunnel,
Right,
like
right.
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
that. Like
yeah,
that was
yeah.
money in the streets.
Yeah.
Bring your money out the streets
Right,
and bring
right,
it here
right,
on a
come in.
Friday. That's what that was.
Yeah.
That's what that was. So
Yeah.
that was totally different than
Okay.
the day parties.
Okay, got you.
We only
Okay.
did like 2 day parties in the Grand, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before, at one party, they pulled the plug that
Yeah.
night. Like
Really?
we knew
The Con Edison.
Con Edison was about to go. We thought it was going off the next day.
Yeah.
Thank God
They
we
pulled
did
it off.
Wow.
Right
Thank
at the
God
end
we
of
did
our
it
party.
End of the
at
party.
end.
Yes.
Thank God we did it in
There was
day.
another party after. Rope
We
had
were
a
supposed to have
party,
a party
after us.
us.
And they were coming in and they were setting up.
No,
and
it
them
was
shits-
Loverboy. It was Brandon.
It was, but it's Rope.
Brandon and
Yeah,
Rope.
yeah.
Brandon.
Brandon, yeah, light skin
Yeah.
Brandon.
Shout out to
yeah,
B.
Brandon, yeah.
Yeah. And
So from
they turned the lights off.
so
was it.
y'all outgrew 420. Y'all come uptown. Y'all do
Phuket.
Grand,
Yeah,
and then
Grand.
Phuket. Then
Yeah.
y'all went to
And
Phuket.
Phuket.
Yep.
Then what was after that?
Body.
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 And
Body.
Phuket was
Body was
next
fire.
year.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we
Body.
started hopping around after that. Like,
Okay.
But shout out to Big Tom, yo, because without Big Tom, we wouldn't have got Phuket. because they was like,
Yeah,
nah, we
yeah.
not doing it.
Although Derek
And-
was the
yeah,
line person in there,
yeah,
he was
and
the person with the line.
Iman,
needed more
who became like our sister, who was
confirmation.
like the manager.
So Big Tom called them and was like, "Yo, these are my people."
Yeah, he went up there.
Yeah.
And we met him up there, and she was like, nah. She was like, yo, it's a 25. Yo, I need 2,500 before I even turn on the lights in here. It's gonna cost us 2,500. Tom was like, that's it. I got that. He was like, I make you a promise. If my dudes don't do that, I'll come and give it to you.
Yeah.
Now, who was Tom again?
Big Tom.
Big Tom.
Tom.
He, I mean, you know him from outside, but he manages Spazzo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, got you. Okay.
But you definitely have seen him before.
Got you. Okay.
So without Tom, we would have it would have took us a little more doing to get into Phuket.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So there's a lot of people who played that behind the scene. So that's why, I'm one of these guys who don't believe in self-made.
Okay.
No.
Because you always got to have a plug.
Absolutely.
That's a fact.
So now let's jump into, how should I phrase this? How do y'all get to Big Three? What happens? I mean, of course, some people are missing. That's why I got knocked down to Big Three.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So let's get into that. Let's jump into that. It's a little tough topic.
The first person that left was Onion.
Okay.
Unveiled.
Personal reasons.
Yeah, personal
Okay.
reasons, unleft.
Okay.
And he didn't look back. Like he just was like, I'm out.
I'm out.
So we thinking, all right, he needs some.
He pulled the U.
Yeah.
This nigga just never came back.
And if
Yeah.
anybody could talk him back, it would be me.
Yeah.
I tried everything, bro.
Yeah.
To this day, I can show you a text message. Like, last week, I was like, yeah, well, you need to come back, bro.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, ha, ha. That was it. Silence. And I was like, oh,
Right.
all right, cool.
Right.
And
Right.
to harp on something that he said earlier, you got to remember, Un played an intricate part because his following only follows
Fuck with
him.
him. Oh, so y'all. Okay.
So
he was in
we
need.
lost a percentage of people because he was just like,
I'm out.
and you know, I might pick up your man,
A couple, but not his crowd.
his crowd.
Got you.
Nah, his
So
crowd is
they just stopped
loyal.
coming.
Loyal.
Like,
Got you.
Loyal.
So that was like, all right, what we gonna do? So now it's 4 of us.
Right.
I don't know if y'all want to get on the other thing, but we had some back and forths with Bink.
Okay.
I ain't gonna get into exactly what it was, but there's just a few misunderstandings, some mishaps,
Okay.
and we had to separate ourselves from that.
Got you.
And we was like, well, what the fuck we gonna do now? Like, it's
So y'all had to really reanalyze everything at this point.
absolutely.
Okay.
It was almost like a total situation because we was known for daytime parties.
Right.
We've done night before,
Right.
but at this moment we're known for daytime parties.
We
Yeah.
didn't do any nights at that point.
And we wasn't
for
doing anything at
5 or
night.
6 years.
Yeah.
Right.
So now it's like, all right, the daytime, we can't use the name. We all broken up. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
What we gonna do? So it was like a revamp. Like, all right, fuck it. Let's get back to the.
It was a revamp, but I wanna thank these two dudes because, they were doing a Friday night downtown.
Oh yeah.
They were doing a Friday night downtown.
So that's when the crew gets breaking down. Right.
we still was all together, but they
Oh,
was
but y'all
like,
did some side stuff.
yeah, we all just because, like we said earlier, we all was bosses. So they decided to do like a Friday night downtown. I was like, nah, I don't want to. They asked me, nah, I don't want to do that.
Okay.
I don't feel like going downtown every night.
What was that at?
It's called,
I
I
knew
knew
it.
it. It was on
When
Eastside?
hookah just started kind
Eastside?
of getting
yeah,
popular,
Eastside, 60th.
Yeah, I think I
it was
came
a
to one of
hookah. It
those.
was a hookah
Yeah,
bar.
I came to that.
Hookah
I
just
came to-
started getting
Yeah,
popular.
yeah, I remember
I
that.
was like, man, I don't feel like driving down.
I
there
remember
every
that,
Friday.
yeah.
But now I'm good.
Okay.
So me and Bink started doing every Sundays at this spot called 112 in Park 112 in Harlem. We was doing Sunday brunches there.
Park 112. What's his name got that from Bad
Man,
Boy?
Lou.
Tucker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tucker.
Okay.
So we was doing that. So they was doing Friday and we was doing Sundays, but
Okay.
we still were all together and we still was doing daytime.
Okay.
boy
It's
stuff.
different stuff. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it was so many of us. It was good. It was good for everybody because
Okay.
now we got different people coming to do different things and crowds and everything, and it's something for everybody.
Okay.
And then I think Chico went out of town one weekend, and he was like, "Yo, why don't you come down and hold Shark down?" on Friday. So I was like, all right, cool, I'll come down. So I went down. And I was like, all right, this is cool.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like doing this every Friday.
Right, not every Friday.
And then I think Shark went away like a couple of weeks after that.
Yeah.
He was like, yo, come hold Chico down.
Yeah,
So I went down again.
Yeah,
and I was like, yeah, it's cool, but I still don't want to do this every Friday.
Yeah.
So we stopped doing the Sunday brunch because the numbers was funny in there. And,
Okay.
you know.
So
and then
so
they
as
was
you can
going out
see,
of business.
Yeah.
when the three of us are working together, it's easy. Like
Yeah.
probably the easiest anything can go.
Okay.
Like we can replace each other. We could
Yeah.
anything.
We're
You
interchangeable,
ask each
man.
other,
Right.
and it's comfortable. Like it's really like we're just hanging out because
Yeah,
that's
right.
how we get along.
Yeah.
Right.
These my brothers. These my little
fact.
brothers.
Right.
My knucklehead little brothers. But
Unfortunately, with the Daytime Boys, it seemed to be friction all the time, and when you start getting frustrated and stressed, it's kind of like it's time to do something different.
It ain't worth it.
Like
Gotcha.
I'm not feeling good coming home every day. I got some negative energy.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah,
Where's
that's
this
not
negative
good.
energy
Yeah, that's
coming
not good.
from?
Yeah.
And how
It's
can I
supposed to be
get
happy
this?
times. Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
Absolutely.
right.
Okay, I agree with y'all with that.
so
yeah.
fast forward a little bit. They left and I knew it. I knew it closed or what?
I think they were closing.
They were closing. So they brought it uptown. They brought it. We was doing what? Gin Fizz.
Yeah, right over Red
on
Rooster.
125th.
Oh,
A little
yeah,
joint up
yeah.
there.
So they was like, "Yo, what's up? You want to? This is closer." So I was like, "I bet it's
And what's
closer."
that? That's a day party?
No.
This
This
is
is Friday night.
That's a night party.
Friday night.
Okay, gotcha.
So we
So
on the
we
night
did
shit now.
that. We rocking, and they get a new manager, and I get there in 20 minutes and just meeting this dude. Me and him is arguing. Yo, I mean, like arguing. And I'm like, yo, I don't argue with nobody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, we gotta get out of here, bro.
Right.
We gotta get out of here.
Right.
And my phone rings. It's JT from Barcelona Bites.
Okay.
And he's like, yo, you still interested in doing Fridays?
Okay.
And he was like, yo, what you do on Fridays? And I was like, I'm at this spot, Jim Fizz. And I'm looking around because I'm outside. I was arguing with this dude.
Yeah.
So I'm outside like, yo, he around here? He seen this?
Yeah.
And and I was like, yo, man, I might be leaving.
Right.
We might be leaving this spot.
Right.
He was like, yo, bring it uptown.
Yeah. We looking for somebody.
And I was like, what you talking about? And he shot me the deal right over the phone. I said, give me 5 minutes. I went back. I told them the deal. They was like, yo, we out.
Yeah, we out.
Called JT
Yeah, they
back
was
and
giving
said, yo,
deals. Shout out to Barcelona
we bringing the
Bites. Good
circus
deals.
back uptown.
Yes.
So-
Yes.
Yeah. That all happened. That same thing happened. We were doing a derby
Okay.
the next day.
The next day.
So it was Friday. We was
Yeah.
doing the derby Saturday.
Yeah.
We ran into an issue. You know, used to do it up here at Split Rock.
Okay.
And we ran into an issue with Split Rock.
Okay.
We had to move the party in one day.
Yeah,
And y'all went to
not
Meshuggah,
even
right?
a day.
It was less than a day.
Hours.
It was hours.
Where did you go to Meshuggah?
Nah, we had to take it to Queens. It was actually like a club.
Valley, yeah.
We couldn't
Okay.
even do it really out. It had some
Outside.
outdoor space.
Yeah, but it was okay.
So while he's dealing with that, I'm dealing with trying to find a space. We don't even know what's really going on. I heard him.
Yeah.
But you know, we just trying to find. He running around. You know.
And who was the owner at Split Rock? Was that Sal? Oh no.
I don't know. We were dealing with what's her name?
Can't remember her name.
Okay.
Jennifer or some shit like
Nah,
that.
it wasn't
Okay.
Jennifer.
I can't remember her name.
Right.
But we were dealing with.
Okay. Right.
A
So you had
woman.
to move. it.
Nancy? Was it Nancy?
I don't remember.
But
her
it
name.
was a situation.
Yeah. Situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
yeah.
we had to get up out of there. And
So we
ASAP.
moved. What was it? How many people we had at that party?
20.
1,200.
No.
1,200. We had 1,200.
Oh yeah,
tickets
for the
sold.
Queen. Yeah.
We had 1,200 tickets sold.
Yeah.
And it
So
was a
we had
ticket-only
to
event.
move 1,200 people in less than 24 hours,
Yes.
and we made that happen.
remember,
D Nice played that party.
D Nice. Wow.
D Nice
Yeah.
and Ty
Ty
Boogie.
Boogie. Killed
D
it.
Nice prices is incredible right now.
Killed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah,
Right now.
absolutely.
D Nice
He gave y'all
grew up with me on my block too.
Oh, where he grew up with you?
Yeah, that's my guy.
Okay.
That's my guy.
Yeah, that was the homie hookup rate back then, but his price is crazy
Yeah.
right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Shout out to D Nice. D
Yeah.
Nice, you gotta get on the show too.
So we formed a team, man. We formed a team up at Barcelona Bites.
Okay.
It was us three.
And what year was this?
At least like 2016, 17,
See, I was
somewhere in
doing
there.
Tuesdays.
It was
We was
before
doing
that.
Tuesday.
in 2019.
It was
right?
before.
No.
It was before
In
that.
2016, we was doing Tuesdays.
Okay, so you was doing around the same time.
Fat
Right.
two different
Tuesdays.
days.
And then they started experimenting with different stuff. Then they was like, fuck it, we might as well give the color people, no disrespect to nobody, the color people Saturdays. Fuck
Okay.
it. Because no weekends went to blacks.
Nah.
Okay.
No weekends.
Nah.
Okay.
But the money was so incredible on Tuesday, they're like, damn, they doing such a great job. Fuck
Let's
it.
deal with the Negroes.
And then we
Yeah.
came on Fridays.
Right.
So they had 2 banging days.
Right.
But, when they said they giving it up Saturdays, I was like, yo, we knew it was over.
Right.
Right.
But we had like what? We was there like
You had a
2
little
years.
Good
run.
run.
Yeah. You had a run.
Years,
You had a
man.
run.
You had a
You had a
good
run.
Incredible run, bro.
Yeah. But Saturdays
Incredible
affected
run.
everybody. It affected
Yeah,
Tuesday.
Yeah.
It killed
It
the whole
affected y'all.
spot.
Yeah.
It killed the whole
Because before
spot.
that, Tuesday was I
That
bought
was
a
it.
car for Tuesday.
Everything, yo.
I bought the
Y'all
drop
was
top off for
killing
Tuesday.
that shit, and
was crazy.
The funny shit is even
These
now,
niggas
like
apparel
they
and all
still
type
don't.
of
Yeah.
stuff.
They don't understand that when you do that in a venue,
Right.
it's gonna happen eventually.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So Tuesday, killing it. Friday, killing it. Now Saturday, and it's like, come on, like that's
Right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
that's
come
a lot.
every day.
Right.
that's a lot.
Yeah.
We were the hottest thing smoking. Tuesdays and Fridays was the
Yeah.
hottest thing
That's a fact.
smoking.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah,
Like in everywhere, like everybody was coming up
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So
yes.
that was dope. That was dope.
So I'm gonna jump into one thing real quick. So, what's the spot at home? Cecil,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, one of the owners, light skin dude, what was his name again? Real estate. Do real estate. The real estate guy. I forgot his name.
I forgot. I just seen
Forgot
Start
his
with an
name.
M.
I feel
Yeah,
bad
I
too.
seen
It's
him.
my guy, real estate guy.
I just seen
Yeah.
him.
He
I
was
just
part
seen him.
owner. Restaurant in Cecil, dope spot. Matter of fact, they had the cooks from, I think, Ricardo's or something. They had some association with Ricardo's, right? Same menu, whatever. Boom. I'm in there. They're trying to get different promoters to get the spot rocking. I think Leroy do one night. Buddha might have did a night with Leroy and Madam or whatever. Okay. Joey Go knows Homeboy. Joey Go come to me. I never forget in the spot. Was like, yo, Mike, he want to give me a night. Yo, let's do it. I'm like, yeah, this spot is dope. I like it. All right, let's do it. So we said we need someone else. Yo, we must have went through like 20 names. And then I was like, he said Daytime Boys. Yeah, I was like the 21st name. I said, bet. Yo, I was like every name he said, nah. A couple of names, nah. When he said y'all, I said bet.
That shit
And that's
was,
how that went.
That shit was dope.
Now, let me tell y'all about Cecil's, right, in Harlem.
Super dope.
Cecil's lasted for maybe, 2 months? Or again, 6
Nah,
months?
longer than that.
Longer
Three-
than that.
Because it was
months?
like from
Oh, matter of fact, you're
cold.
right.
It was a
It was
while.
April
It was-
to
we-
September.
We did
Something
it
like
for,
that.
for a minute.
Yeah,
March.
We was there for a while.
Yeah,
bro.
you know what?
Where was Cecil's at again?
Cecil's
118 for St. Nick.
St.
Yeah.
Nick.
Oh yeah, right on the corner.
Yeah.
On
I
my
remember
block.
that. Yeah.
So
It's like brownstones right there, right
Yeah.
there. Yeah, that little white building, like white.
we do Cecil's. It took us like maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Fourth week it was going.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Then it was a machine.
Yeah.
Yo, I didn't even have to put up flyers for the week. It was
Nah.
Cecil
going.
was. I remember that shit.
Cecil was something special because I felt like
I'll be
at
forgetting
that
spots.
time, everybody did their part. Like I remember, like out of nowhere, because he was losing faith a little bit with it. Like I don't know about this shit, and then boom, this nigga had like 6 birthdays.
But it happens
Like,
like
it was
that.
crazy. 6 birthdays out of nowhere.
It happens.
And then everybody was doing their part, and it was just something special. We was bringing people out from everywhere. I remember my man from Brooklyn with the Bentleys came. Yo, Cecil was incredible. It was a pleasure working with y'all.
Nah,
Yeah,
that's
that
a
was
fact.
dope.
Yeah,
That was a good time.
That was special.
definitely good.
That
Yes.
was a
I
good
always
time.
will remember Cecil's.
dope.
Yes.
Shout out
Yeah.
to Joey Go too.
Yeah. Misen.
Yes, yes.
Misen was
Misen. Shout out to
Misen.
Real Estate Misen.
Yeah. Shout out to Misen.
Yes. So, now let's talk about the promoting game now. Why y'all
Here it
laughing?
go.
Because it's
Here it
crazy.
go.
So,
Here it
crazy.
go.
It's
Okay, so
nasty right now.
we gotta dive into it. The promoting game now. So, me and Mano's gonna tell y'all what are some of the issues right now. Okay, so some of the issues right now is I feel like there's a shortage of good parties, right?
Yep.
Shortage of quality coming out. What else, man? You want to dive in? You want to?
Yep.
I mean, well, you know, I'm a chick dude, so like, just the chicks they
Man,
just
first of all, you know it's hard.
Yeah.
When we be like, we'd rather go to Ricardo's than some of these parties.
Yeah, that's
right?
the thing.
We have a good time with great
exactly.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like I love
Three
beautiful
bottles,
women. Like you know what I'm saying? That's why,
champagne,
Yeah.
that's why I
everybody
fuck with them
laughing.
because they do be having beautiful chicks in there. You know what I
Right,
mean? But
right.
you gotta have the chicks to come there. You know what I mean? I
Right.
like the mixy, and I like chicks that talk to you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Be nice to you. I don't like
So
them. You know what I mean? I don't like that.
So right now, I think Bronx, Uptown. It's always parties in the city, so I'm not going to bring them up. In all fairness, I'm not going to bring the city up. But there's a shortage, and I think this goes back to something y'all said. People do a birthday, they think they're a promoter, so that plays a little role too, because everyone, like, they trying to piece crews together. You know what I mean? So, what you think? Talk about like the state we're in right now, and what y'all want to do moving forward.
The state is watered down.
Everything's saturated.
Everything.
Super saturated.
Watered down.
So, you got your people, like he said, do a birthday party, you're a promoter.
Right.
The problem is that they don't really know what that entails. So they taking deals, they going to places that people are more comfortable with. So for instance, you know, if I come in here and Mike's gonna give me 3 drinks and I'm not paying for nothing, I'm comfortable here. I'm comfortable here.
Gotcha.
And when you start getting comfortable,
Right.
you remove the other aspect of the promoting game. Like you said, we had lots of women, this and that. They tired of seeing the same dudes.
Same dudes, yeah.
You know,
Yes,
and
yes.
vice versa. We tired of seeing the same women,
Okay.
right? So what do? What we've done often is we've clicked up with people from different areas,
Okay.
right? Just to make it a little
A
different.
little different, yeah.
And what happens is you start gaining their audience. You know, so now you have the different people. Mike is from Mount Vernon. He got his Mount Vernon coming. All right, we're gonna do it with Mike. Now they associate me with you. I remember they did. I remember them. They did a good part. Now I got some of your crowd, but I'm not stealing it. It's basically offering. It's basically helping each other out.
Yeah, cross marketing.
Yes. So it's like, yo, I have something quality that I can go to because I remember what they did.
Right.
It ain't like that no more.
Right.
Like, you got grown men coming to the door and staying there until they man come to pay for them.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Like,
It's nasty.
y'all
People,
niggas
what's
know.
going on? What's going on, man?
Yo, like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
Stay home
mean,
if you ain't got no money.
exactly. If you don't have no
Man,
money,
I don't got no cash in my pocket.
Yeah,
I
stay
got a
home.
stomach ache. I'm staying home.
Shoot, yeah, stay on home, man.
it's
Stay
crazy.
home.
You heard what he said, man. Stay home, man.
Yo, France, we gonna go a little over. We gonna wrap this up soon. We'll pay for it. It's all good. All right.
But that all of these things cause this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, women are coming out and spending more money than
That's
the
a
dudes.
fact. That's a fact.
And
Right now,
Absolutely.
they'll put up the
women, they
bottle
put the
money.
money, yeah.
all that.
All of that.
Women are
And I
doing
love it.
more
I
of
love
that.
it.
And
Yes.
they're
Yes.
doing that
All of that.
because
We-
they
yeah.
want to have a good time. And they know these niggas is not
And
doing
they
it for
doing it
them.
because they remember how it used
Yes.
to be.
So,
Yes.
so
Women
you know
are
what I mean?
calling and saying, "What's the bottle prices?" Guys are calling and saying, "Yo, can you put me on the
me on the
list?"
list. Put me on the
That's
list.
what's really happening right now.
And that's
why
I'm
it's
gonna
so
be
funky, yo.
super honest.
Yeah,
with
yeah,
that,
yeah.
man. I'm just
Yeah.
like, ah,
And
man,
if
that's wild.
let's keep it all the way funky.
Okay.
You gotta earn that. I remember back in the day, you gotta earn that
You
list.
gotta earn that.
It's like
Yeah,
you came in and you
absolutely.
fucked the bar.
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
came in with
Yeah,
some
yeah, yeah,
joints.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You came in
You
looking
gotta
like
do something. Are you
Gotta do
promoting the
something.
party?
Yeah.
Are you coming in with
Right.
joints?
Something-
Can't just
right.
be taking
You
up
Something-
space.
tell
Yeah.
mad dudes to come. Like
Yeah.
you see who doing what.
It's
Yeah.
a respect level.
Yeah, you gotta earn it. I
But now
agree.
you come in, you asking to get in for free.
And you're not
ain't-
buying no
you're
drinks.
not buying no
You're not,
drinks.
you're not supporting the bar.
You just standing around.
You want a nigga hookah.
You act
Like-
on a nigga hookah.
Like,
These grown
come
men
on.
on hookah.
Yeah.
Like, you pulling out your own little vape. What you here for?
Yeah.
No, seriously. Come on, Mike. What you here for?
We gotta start asking. That's a hashtag. What you here for?
Yeah, you
That's
know
a new
what?
hashtag.
Let's
for
do the
25.
shirts.
What you really
What you
here
here
for?
for?
What you here for?
Yo, I'm running that. What you here for? Hashtag. I'm putting on the page tomorrow. What you here for?
We'll run with you with that.
Yeah.
What you here for?
What you here for? And it never been nothing crazy because I could go into a joint and it could be 10 people in there.
That-
But if I saw something nice,
Yeah.
you know, you pull up, you get it. Now I don't care what's going on.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay, so let me help out those people. real
Yeah,
quick.
go ahead, please.
we're in a mini recession right now.
Yep.
It's safe to say, right?
Yep.
So a lot of these dudes ain't got it like that no more, right? And they just don't know when to say, I'ma stay home.
You stay home, bro.
So how do y'all replace and get new people to fill the void?
I mean,
Go out and meet new people.
yeah,
like
you
what?
know, you stay active. Like I said, you know, you stay
Gotta
active.
stay active.
We're about to do a trip to Atlanta. We got a bunch of people on it.
Tell the viewers about the trip.
Yeah, the trip to Atlanta. You know, we
Next
call it
stop.
Next Stop. We've hit
Stop
a bunch of
ATL.
places already. This is probably our 5th or 6th joint, but we rerunning it back to ATL. July 18th through the 20th. We doing a version of our daytime derby down there. So we got something Friday, we got something Saturday night, Sunday night. Then we
We got a
home.
pajama party. We got a white party. We got
So wait a minute.
a rooftop party.
So the Atlanta party, that's different from the Derby.
Yes. Well,
Yes.
we
That's
have the
something
derby, the regular
There's
derby
two
in New
derbies.
York. That's happening in
There's
August.
2 derbies this year.
Oh, it's 2.
But we doing a version of it
We got a Atlanta
while we
derby.
down in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So why not
We
make it
gonna
one
give-
big thing? Or
Nah,
just-
we gonna give them a taste test.
Yeah.
Because this year's our 10th year.
Okay.
Yeah.
10 years. we've
Oh,
been
so y'all
doing
want the people
derby.
here and then.
So we
Yeah.
gonna bring it here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back home.
So
and
when
do
is
the
here?
big
August 30th.
And
So-
when's Atlanta?
July
19th.
19th. That's the day.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
get those dates straight, people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
July's
come on, fuck with
Atlanta.
us.
August is New York.
Also,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna toot our own horn, but we like one of the only groups that has hit almost every borough. The only borough we haven't touched and did a party in is Staten Island.
And we almost did that.
Yeah,
last
we-
year.
Yeah,
We almost
we
did
had
that,
it.
right.
We had
Because
it. That was
Keisha Cole
gonna
was
be
on
it.
that? Or no?
Yeah, that was
Keisha
gonna
Cole,
be it.
right.
B.
I remember that.
Yeah.
But you know, some funny business happened with the spot. And
Okay.
We wasn't trying to bring all them people out there and
Right. And then,
Yeah.
they cheers and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
they be like, "Yo, what
Yeah,
y'all doing?"
Where Keisha Cole at?
Yeah.
What's going on?
No, Keisha
Yeah.
Cole was a go.
Okay.
Keisha Cole was a go. It was the spot that
It was the
kind
spot.
of screwed
Funny.
us up.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
But
Yeah.
that's the only spot that's the only borough we ain't
I'm gonna keep it
touched.
real with y'all. They made history with the daytime parties in New York, and early on when y'all started, I think some promoters tried to do it in Long Island. I forgot the name of the spot. The spot was dope, big spot, but that was a one-off. That wasn't a weekly. It was a spot in Long Island. I gotta look up the name, but it was dope. But y'all was the most consistent with the day party because the signatures, that's your signature.
So with
joint.
that being said, we gave a lot of y'all opportunities to make money. So remember that.
Clubs
That's a
too.
fact.
Because
Clubs too.
absolutely,
Yes, yes.
absolutely.
But
man.
ask them who did it for us. Who gave us the opportunity? You understand what I'm saying?
Tell the people
Like,
who did.
it's real shit.
okay.
Let's
Right.
go back to another question about what's going on with the business right now.
Oh yeah, let's get back to
With
that. Yes,
originality.
Let's talk about that.
Originality is key.
Okay.
All right. Originality is key, so you got to have great ideas.
Right.
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 So that's where you come in. You talk to your people.
Yeah.
Finding spots. Who's better? Who's better at finding spots? I'm not tooting our own horns,
Okay.
but we bring a lot of
Quality
spots to the
spots.
forefront.
Wait. I gotta.
Hold on, Mike. Let me ask you a question. How do you all deal with gatekeepers? People that want
We
to,
don't.
We don't.
We don't deal
because
with
they're everywhere.
That we don't.
Keep that. Bro.
Okay, so when
We
you
good.
get
We
so when you
go
get next to them,
find
it's just
something
like,
else.
nah, we out.
Yeah, we
See,
go
and,
find
and that's the
something
we
Because
want
that's
to
the problem
find
with us. We got so many gatekeepers.
Yeah.
But
I want to help.
But I think that's a good
let that-
thing
I'm
at
gonna tell you
times because if everybody start, and this is the problem we have a lot
Okay.
with promoters. When we find a spot,
They
we have one party, 2 parties, our phones are ringing. Yo, get me in that spot. Now, if you're in that spot, if he gets somebody in that spot, I get somebody in that spot, Nell gets somebody in that spot. Now we got 10 parties in this same spot. So what's special now?
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
right.
What's special now?
yes, that's tough.
But the whole
Yeah.
thing is, we don't
tough.
gatekeep. We don't.
Right.
We don't.
gatekeep.
Exactly. Exactly.
No.
That's good.
I'm
gonna
But you got the
help-
gatekeepers though.
I'ma help them
so
out
when you
with
go
that.
to them, they be like, oh, they tell you something. They don't tell you all the story. They,
Nah,
I
we
mean,
go
they-
around.
But
Yeah.
let's keep it real. Everybody don't deserve that. I'm not gonna say no names. Yo, I had a situation where a dude had an artist. He'd have never got this spot. Got him the spot, saved the artist because he was just gonna lose his money. I think he paid like $4,000. Boom, walked him in the door, got him the spot. He didn't give me so much as a soda. You understand what I'm saying? So am I supposed to be, I guess, the bitch ass nigga, but like moving forward, yo, don't nobody call me for nothing unless you give me money? You understand what I'm saying? I mean, so you got to keep it business sometime.
You gotta keep it
because
all the time, bro.
Yeah, you got to keep it business because that person, man was cool, but I did him a favor because I felt bad because he put out the 4,000 he was gonna lose because that spot he had canceled. Nah, we don't want your party no more. He was gonna lose the 4. So what do? You got to keep things business, correct?
Yeah, you gotta
no,
keep it
but he was supposed to take care of you.
Yeah.
I don't care what it was.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
something. He was supposed to take care of
You
you.
think like me. Exactly. Exactly.
And you got to keep it business.
Yeah, you got to
But
keep
it's a lot
on.
of people that don't have that class.
Right.
You
That's
know?
the thing.
Like if somebody do something for me and I'm gonna turn that into $1 or $2.
Yeah.
You gotta eat too, bro.
You got to reciprocate.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like I
It's
said,
about reciprocation.
It's nothing. You're not self-made. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You turn me on to something.
Yes.
All right, bro. Here's a little something too. Yo, good looking. I appreciate it.
Because that's the only way we can elevate. You got to
And
reciprocate.
I want to say this to the viewers out here. You know, some of you got the nerve to make the phone call, and y'all proposal's horrible.
Oh, let's talk about it.
Like, y'all proposal's horrible.
Oh,
like, when
my
you
God.
make the phone call, just know that, I mean, we don't do stuff the traditional way in the office and stuff like that. Stuff is done over the phone, sometime in the party. But come with a decent proposal if you're asking for help, okay?
Yeah. That's a
It has to be decent.
yo.
Not
And
no
that proposal has
bullshit.
to-
And I shouldn't have to tell you, yo, X, Y, and Z. Yo, Esso said it the best the other day. He was like, yo, listen, why you think niggas, they inbox you, ask you for some bullshit, and you never hear from them?
because
because
the
you-
proposal, go ahead.
Right.
The proposal is one-sided.
No,
It
not
got to be a
even that.
two-sided proposal. How can I make
No,
some-
the language in the proposal is certain language
Yeah, but it's one-sided
in the
for
proposal. Because niggas won't even respond to you.
Yeah.
If you just say, mama, you got one shot to get this right.
them. Exactly.
It ain't, yo, Mike, you know, I
You
know you
gotta-
got access to Friday. Yo, could you boom, boom, boom?
No, nobody want to hear
You
that.
mentioned no money.
Yeah.
No, do you want to be a part of it?
Exactly, no
Or I'll just
reciprocation.
piece you off on the side. It's one shot at the proposal.
Yeah, exactly.
Because some dudes just not even gonna hit you back.
Exactly.
It's over.
Or you got another one where there's somebody who seems ambitious. Yo, I've done this and it was a success to them.
Okay.
We know what success looks like.
Right.
It's a success to them. And I'm not knocking anybody if it was successful. It was, but now you come to us and you say, yo, I want to do something with y'all.
Yeah.
I'm not looking down at you, but what have you done?
Right.
What are you going
What
to
are you
bring?
bringing to the table?
What are you
bring
bringing?
to the table? Yeah, yeah.
That's the whole thing.
When you
What
called
bring
us,
to the
I
table.
knew what it was at Sisu. We're
right.
going to tear this up.
Oh, we gonna tear it up.
We're going to tear this
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
So I know that.
It's
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Harlem. We
Yeah.
going.
But you get calls from dudes or run-ups on dudes
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like, yo, like, I don't know you.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know none of the shit
What's
you
your
did.
credentials?
Yeah.
You
The
gotta
best-
speak on your
the best-
credentials.
the best
No
is-
disrespect.
The best is when they come to your joint, it's packed, and they're talking to you while the music.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
That's the worst time
yo,
to
bro.
talk. Yeah, nobody wanna
we
hear
gotta
that.
do something
You gotta
together.
do something together.
But the spot is packed.
Yeah.
Like, let me get on this with y'all.
Yeah.
So I'm saying in my head, like, all right, where you want to do it at?
Yeah.
Right here. They telling me right here.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah,
like, I got the spot packed.
Poor proposal.
Yeah.
Like,
This goes back to
I
proposal.
got the
Proposal.
spot packed. You didn't say, yo, I got an artist. I could get Jada Kiss.
Yeah.
I could get Kid Capri. I could then be like, oh, okay.
Bring some value.
Yeah, bring some value.
value, that's
but
very
just,
important.
yo, we got to do something together. That means, yo, you need me to give you some of the money or
Yeah.
whatever I'm doing. You want a piece of that. That's not going, come on,
That
bro.
don't work.
Like, how's that possible?
I want to touch on free parties. So, and this is my perspective, right? After work parties. I honestly feel if you do an after work party, start at 4, 5. It's okay to start charging after 8. That's what I honestly feel. You ain't gotta go crazy. It could be $10, 15, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Nothing crazy. Like,
Yeah.
you ain't gotta go. It's after work, so we can't get crazy, $30, shit like that. But I slightly have a problem with the 100% free. Tell me how you feel
You
about
always
that.
been like that. And
Tell me how you feel about that.
I'm clear. I'm good with that.
But you gotta tell people
I'm
why you
good
got a
with that.
problem. Mike. You got a problem.
I'm all right
You
with
really
that.
got a problem with that.
I'm
Mike.
good with
No, I
that.
want to hear their
I'm good
perspective.
with
All right, okay.
Cause
But then we
Mano,
gotta get back to why you got a problem.
No, there's a whole bunch of free parties going on right now, and they do the free party for a minute, and then like after 10 months go by, then they want to charge.
They want to charge.
So let's go back to, we're going to get to that. Let's go back to the initial question of free parties. Because without us, these niggas is done.
This is a fact. The free party is okay, but I agree with you. So when we were doing Silhouette right before COVID, do you remember that?
Yes,
Friday nights.
We was about to get a rocking if COVID didn't come.
Listen, we were on our way.
Rocking.
No, I'm talking about rocking where it's like, excuse me.
Yeah.
We was there. People was coming through.
Yeah.
Cecil was coming back again.
We
Yes.
was,
Yes.
we was like into our third or fourth
Yeah.
week or something.
Yeah, it was like our fourth.
It was going, and
fourth
then
week.
Yeah.
Then
COVID came.
hit. But you were the one who was like, nah, we need to charge. Because initially we was like, let them live,
Right.
And you was like, nah, let them charge.
Right,
Just a
right.
little $10. So
Yeah,
we was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
all right,
yeah,
fuck
yeah,
it.
yeah.
It wasn't on the Bible, like we didn't have to not charge, but we was like, fuck it, let's and it started coming in.
And let me say something. When we did Cecil, that was an after work Friday. Yo,
Yeah, you was
I think our best week, each of it was 5 of us. What, 700
Something like that.
a piece?
Yep.
Okay,
Just on some after work shit.
that's not including the bar people.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not the bar percentage. We just talking about the door.
Yep.
700 a piece.
Yep.
So there's they got to pay for services. No
And
disrespect.
I don't mind a free party. I don't mind it.
Yeah,
What I do, I have a problem with is you give a free party,
right,
everybody's screaming free, free, free.
right.
You don't show up. Now it's time to pay, but now you want to get on the
When
list.
you want to come.
Okay.
You want to come for this party that is pay, but you don't want to come to the free one.
So let me ask you this.
I don't fucking
And I don't
understand.
want to get you in trouble with none of the owners.
Yep.
Why don't the promoters starve these owners out? Because without us, they're done.
Oh yeah, we've done it.
It's
We've
all-
done it.
it's-
No, I'm
it
talking
all
about
goes-
universally too. Because
Yeah.
like I said, okay, I'm gonna bring a spot up. Sangria. Sangria was gonna die before they got any promoters.
Right.
I used to go to Sangria when they didn't even do promoting.
Yeah.
Like 3 people in there.
Mm-hmm.
Pick a day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Man, 4 people in there.
I
It was
got a
about to
call.
die.
I got a call to do sangria.
But like they
When-
said,
around that
the
time.
business is saturated now. So if you don't do it, another promoter will.
That's
They'll
the
come
problem.
knock on-
Yeah,
and they
that's the
know
problem.
that.
That's the problem.
And they know that. They know somebody, even if he's not a good promoter, they know they can get another promoter. Oh, yo, I'm good. Screw Mike. I'll pack the joint out for you. I'll
What you
do
gotta
it.
realize is that
Do 2 or 3 weeks as a bomb. They're like, oh, on to the next.
everybody who do business is not a businessman.
Yes.
Okay.
So they don't know what a good deal is. They don't know what a standard deal is. They don't know what's the going rate deal. Right.
That's a fact.
Yo, I'm doing parties now.
Yes.
You know
That's
what
a
I'm saying?
fact.
So
It's
the
not.
club is gonna pay for my DJ and they're gonna pay for my flyers. I just gotta promote and they're gonna give me a flat.
Yeah. See.
Then you a worker.
Right.
You a worker.
But I tell them all the time.
You don't have a business.
If you don't build your event up from the ground, if you've never done that, you're not a promoter. You're a sub, or you're
sub, right,
you're
right.
not a
Work for
boss.
That's a fact.
You're not
Right,
doing
right,
it.
right.
Like when you were paying your own money, when you're building up the event, you got to buy furniture or move furniture, whatever the fuck it is that you doing. If you just walk in and give a list and you get paid, how could you even equate? You understand what I'm saying? You can't even.
That's the majority of the promoters now.
Yes.
They do that. They're not. Yeah, they
Right.
doing that all day.
That's why I don't
Yeah,
even have.
they don't want the
those
responsibility they're
conversations.
taking on all that pressure.
The game is different. You
Yeah.
know, you got some guys who are promoters, and then you got some guys who pretend to be promoters. You know what I'm saying? They label themselves as a promoter because they're a part of the party. And the key word is part. You're a part of the party. You're not
the party.
You're not the party.
Ask them.
If you can't go to the door and be like, Mike, Maino is good. Yo, can y'all get them a table? Then
You're a part of it. Right.
Yeah.
you're a part of it.
Yeah, you're not.
You ain't got no juice. Like,
Right.
Nah, I always ask a promoter how many venues or how many owners or how many whatever they can go back to and still be good. Like with no problem. Like, and not on no party promoting shit. Just on some, oh, you got a new venue? And they gonna fuck with you out the gate. Just because of who you are.
Right.
Nah, how
understand what I'm
about they
saying?
reach out to you
Yeah.
and
You.
say,
I got a new spot.
I got a new spot.
Yep.
Yeah, we got a lot of those, man. We had a lot of those.
Right.
We had a lot of people who reached out to us, even when they was building it. Right.
Yeah.
Come see it.
Yeah.
Come see what
I'm
I'm
glad
doing.
you brought that up. To you, so-called promoters, if you're not getting phone calls at least 3 times a month, you're not a fucking promoter. All right? Shout out to these guys and me too. I'm still getting calls. I turn a lot of shit down. I'm busy.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's what it is now, man. It's crazy.
So right now we're gonna get into the rapid fire. Man, tell them what the rapid fire is.
Okay, so rapid fire is like I'll ask you about a person, place, or thing, and then you give your response in like 2 words or less.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
But spread it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna spread. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But before that, I want to know. I want you to tell the people in TV land, like, what is 2 reasons why a person should come to your party when they visit New York? We're gonna start with Cheek.
Well, I feel like the first reason is we gonna make sure that we entertain you, regardless of what it is. You know, sometimes they're not familiar with the DJs. Sometimes they're not familiar with the event. But when they come here and are in the event, we make sure that they feel comfortable, that they have a good time. You know, you go, you check on them. Like, we not just having you come in and sitting down and not entertaining, not, you know, making sure that you're good. That's one of the main things with us. Like, we walk around, we talk to we might not even know you.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. They
But
do
we
that.
Apply
They definitely do
personal
that.
touch.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
we got personal touch.
putting that touch on it, I feel like that makes them want to come back.
Right.
Okay, Sharp.
That's the main. That's the main thing. The personal experience, and I gotta veer off a little bit by saying this: to give everyone that personal experience, you can't act like, and I'm talking about party goers. You can't act like you're more important than the person standing in line. All right, you did your thing. You got a section, or maybe not. This you don't have a section, but you know you're gonna buy a bottle, but this lady and her girlfriend's been standing in line for a little while. Why are you so important that you can walk up and I'm gonna say, "Excuse me, miss, move back. Let this
them
man and his 8 dudes in." That's not what we want to do. We're gonna give that personal experience, so we're gonna take care of everybody. We're gonna, as equal as possible. So when you come see us, you know you're gonna get that experience. You're gonna feel like
Cornell?
you're taken care of.
I think it's what they said, experience is everything.
Okay.
It's what you take home. When you wake up that next morning and you went to a dope party, everybody went to a dope party and wake up that next morning and was like, yo, I had a good time. So when you come to New York and you pop up at one of our joints, you're going to have a good time.
Right.
Yeah.
You really going to have a good time. You're going to feel like the 90s when we still dance at our parties. You know what I'm saying? We still got real DJs. We still got real women who are friendly. We still got real dudes who buy drinks. You know, you're going to have a good time. And I think that's what all promoters should shoot for.
Right.
Having that good time.
Right.
And get back to dancing, New York.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Bring
Well,
dancers
Get
out.
back to dancing.
And I want to
Dancing
chime in
back.
on that too. My 2 things from actually going to their parties is their security's on point. You know what I'm saying? You know you're gonna get in there, you're gonna be safe. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't even think of a time anything really popped off inside or either outside. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna get there safe and go home safe. And then on top of that, like I'm a music person, so when I come to a spot, if the music banging, that's what keeps me there. And they got some of the top DJs in New York City to be at their party. So you definitely gonna have security there, which is a must. Security is everything, and their music is top choice. You know what I'm saying? The DJs that they got. So we're gonna go into the rapid fire. So I'm gonna shoot some names off to you, and you just tell me what they mean to you, off the top. We're gonna start with Tina Marie. What do you think of Tina Marie?
Ooh, that's the voice, yo. A lot of people, I come across a lot of people not really feeling her. Like,
Okay.
Yo, I love Tina, man.
Okay.
Like, Tina, I just say the voice.
Okay.
The voice, that's it.
Okay, Sharp. Go ahead, Sharp.
Good music.
Music. Okay. Corner.
Rick James.
Hello, my anxiety. You already know. I can't think of her without
baby.
Rick, right?
Yeah, Rick.
Okay.
Rick was a genius.
Okay, so we're gonna go with Jodeci.
Probably the.
A lot of babies was made when Jodeci
That's
music came out.
that's a big fact. Early.
I actually think
I say top five. When I think of Jodeci, top five.
Top
groups.
5 R&B.
Yeah.
Okay, Shark, go ahead.
Martin Lawrence.
Martin. Yeah.
And y'all know why I'm saying that. If y'all Martin fans and Jodeci fans.
Okay.
Jodeci, dope group, man. Just a dope group.
Okay, and then the last person gonna be Babyface. Think of Babyface. What you think of?
Fire.
Babyface, genius.
Yeah, super genius.
I'm gonna say genius.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Stand the test of time.
Yeah.
Legendary.
Legendary.
One of a kind.
Okay. So now we're gonna get into what's your favorite restaurant in New York?
Mine is Hunting Fish.
Okay, and where's that?
That's on 44th or 45th. One of them.
Okay,
Between 6 and 7, 6 and Broadway.
Okay, that's what's up.
It's hard for me. I don't think I have one.
Come on, man. You gotta
give
one
us
in
something.
New York.
Nah,
Say
I'm
Burger
your
King,
favorite?
man. Just pick anything, man.
Come
Wing
on,
these.
man. Just say Ricardo's, man.
Say Ricardo. Yeah,
You
we
gotta
yeah.
say one.
Yeah, you gotta say something.
Carlos is in my top 10, but that ain't my favorite.
Just put your top 2, then if you can't narrow down to one, go top 2.
But I don't know. I
favorite
can't-
restaurant?
I can't answer that.
Can't think.
Can't answer
I'm not a foodie either. I can't really.
Really?
No?
Nah. Like
No restaurant you
I'm
went
gonna
there
help
was
you
food was
out. I'm gonna
crazy.
I eat
say
enough
I'm
for
gonna go with Tao. It's my favorite
That was
restaurant.
dope.
I think my wife and I go to a different restaurant. We try to go somewhere different almost every time we go
Okay.
out. So
Okay.
it's like, and we don't eat beef, we don't eat pork. So we
okay,
just
okay.
jump
Yeah,
around
jump
and try to
around.
find
Okay.
something that we can eat.
Got you.
She eats seafood. I'm allergic to seafood. So
okay.
it's like
Got you.
find something, and we just move around a lot.
Got you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the last question would be, if you can go back in time, right, and give yourself advice as a younger person, what would you tell yourself as a younger person? Right now, if you can go back in time.
Leave them chicks alone. Leave them chicks alone.
Leave them alone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Don't splurge. Save some of your money
Say that money.
and
Money's
invest it in something that you believe in.
Yes, yes.
Me, when I was younger, I had a whole lot of opportunities. I would take those opportunities. I turned down a lot of opportunities. Like I said, I've always worked. So those opportunities got in the way of my work.
Right.
So I just, like, nah, I'm good.
Man, I want to jump in on this.
Okay, Mike. Go ahead, Mike.
So something that Cornell just said, I never forget. I was asked to work at Bad Boy. I said, how much y'all paying? The stipend was like $300 every 2 weeks. I was like, before I answered, Groove was like, he's not gonna do it. He's making 20 times that. He's not gonna do it. You know, we was fly.
Right.
Pay late, no job, all that.
Yeah.
And I should have took it because we was hanging out anyway. Going to the office was nothing. Did
Okay.
that anyway. We was gambling in the office.
Right.
And everybody who put their work in got on. I was there when Super Mario got on. They didn't want to put him on, and then he got on, and then he was on the street team, and then he had a position in Bad Boy, and then he left Bad Boy with Mace, and he was in charge of what was Mace
All Out?
thing? All Out.
Hold on.
And then after Mace ended, he was in charge of D Block
Okay.
for the Locks.
Okay.
So I literally seen, and Mario started at Bad Boy.
Okay.
I seen it. He was trying to get to puff parties. You understand what I'm saying? In the beginning, just trying to get to the parties, which was easy for us back then.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So, opportunities. I agree with you.
Yeah, opportunities.
Because there are a lot of things different.
With me, I would say patience. You know what I'm saying? Because like I tend to speed. You know what I'm saying? When I get in the zone, Mike could tell you I'm ready to go. You know what I'm saying? So I would have told myself to be more patient, and even now, like just be more patient and do more listening. You know what I'm saying? In certain situations, than to be ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Like Mike is more of the calm one where he want to think a situation out. I'm like, with me, once I get that feeling, I'm like, yo, Mike, I'm not feeling it, my dude.
Yeah.
Ain't too much you could tell me. It's like I don't gotta hear the whole story. I'm
Right.
like,
Yeah.
nah.
Right.
Mike like, nah, but let's just see how we
we
can
could
make
do it.
some. And I'm like, nah, I don't like it, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would say just patience with me.
I think all of the answers all lead to the same thing, which is opportunity.
Absolutely.
Like if
Yeah.
I
And
wasn't dealing
relationships.
with these people,
right.
I might have had a different opportunity.
Right.
You know, things.
Facts.
My daughter asked me this morning. She was like, "Well, what did you want to be when you were small?"
Right.
Well, I was like, you know, I wanted to be a football player when I was young, but I had asthma. They told me not to play that.
Right.
But then what?
Right.
And I was like, well, I wanted to be a basketball player after that.
Yeah.
Well, why didn't you become an NBA player?
Right.
Here's the opportunities now. I didn't take advantage of a lot of the stuff because I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Right.
But if my head was focused,
Yeah.
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Could've been anything.
Yeah.
Opportunity.
You never know.
Opportunity, you right.
So right now we're gonna wrap it up. Each of y'all, I want y'all to take time out and some last words and what y'all personally got going on. If y'all want people to follow your page because you got X, Y, and Z going on, you know, just to wrap up real quick. For the
Yeah, let
people.
everybody know where they can follow you at and
Yeah.
reach you and stuff like
All
that.
that.
Okay. All right. You want to give them the
Yeah. It's the info, man.
Social media is the Big 3 NYC on Instagram. That's pretty much where you can follow us at. Linktree is there, so you can find all the events there. Email big3456@gmail.com. But that Instagram is probably the best thing. Big 3 NYC on Instagram. Yeah.
As we stated earlier, we got that Atlanta trip coming up in July. Starting Memorial Weekend, we're going to start doing Sundays, but Memorial Weekend Saturday, we're doing barbecue food festival over at La Marina.
Okay.
We'll give y'all the
Yeah,
information on
that's
that.
And that's gonna start like what, every Sunday?
Then after that Saturday, it'll be every Sunday,
Sunday.
on La
Okay,
Marina
gotcha.
That's
or
gonna be
at the
fire.
Radio Hotel.
Oh,
We're
that's
going to be
dope.
flip-flopping. So
That's gonna
Okay.
be fire.
Or Radio Hotel.
Yeah.
And where's
Which
Radio Hotel? Where's that?
that's the rooftop
181st,
above the heights.
Above the heights.
Oh, that's spot. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
still
it's
uptown.
180 or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
180,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's a
okay,
real
okay.
nice rooftop spot up
Nice
there.
joint?
So
Okay.
we're gonna be doing those on Sundays. You know, we still running in playoffs.
Right.
You know, so
Okay.
we have stuff going.
Okay.
We got the
like we
brunch
said,
every Saturday.
Yep.
We've been
Every
there for
Saturday,
4
peoples.
years.
Every Saturday.
Yeah.
It's what's shaking in the city.
I see y'all.
Playoffs.
Did y'all move over to the
This
spot in
week.
Dykeman?
Well,
Just
it's
this
for
week.
this week.
Just this weekend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's the name of that spot? Tell the people.
Republica.
Republica on
Yeah,
Dykeman.
got
Yeah.
Public
the
LA
rooftop.
Nice
Love
spot.
this week.
We went there for
Yeah,
the
we went there.
for the
Yeah,
game.
yeah. Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
crazy.
Dope spot.
Okay.
I want to shout my wife, yo,
Okay.
just for giving me the space to do all this shit. Yo.
Shout out to Chico White, man.
Word.
Shout out
Dana,
to
Dana,
her,
right?
man.
No, Stace.
Stace. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Stace.
Yeah,
Shout out to
shout out
Stace.
to Stace. Shout out to
Stace. Yes.
Well, shout out all our wives because
Yeah.
they
Shout
are
out
very
all our
patient
wives.
with
They are
us.
very
Yeah,
patient.
because to be
Yeah.
married, it must be hard. We're promoters, and I remember I had a situation. I had a girl, and doing a party. You know, I don't know. Girls get a little extra and want to be greeted, and all of a sudden you want me to give you a hug, and you know, wifey's here. Like, come on, like, why are you being extra right now? And then
Yeah.
if you don't get the proper greet, it's he acting funny,
Funny.
and I'm not
Yeah.
coming next week and all that.
yeah.
So I mean, not everybody's like that. Some women understand.
No.
Like his wife is here, so you know, respectfully, even though ain't nothing going on, but respectfully. But then some women want like the attention, like
The
you know
extra.
what I'm saying,
It's
the
just
extra
everything.
attention. So you know,
They peep everything too.
listen, I
watch
commend y'all
people.
for keep the parties going, and y'all got situations because sometimes it could be rough on the party scene.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to y'all for having us on the show.
Yo,
Yeah,
I
nah,
like
it's
this,
all
man.
good.
I like this.
We need 2 hours though. B.
Yeah.
We need 2 hours.
It's always part two. You come back.
It's a lot. It's a lot
we
missing.
could do
we
a part
see
two.
here.
It's a lot missing.
Yeah,
but
we
I
here.
wanted to
Just
get
gonna be
the
a part two.
crevice out there.
Yeah.
But we definitely
do a
gonna
part
do
two.
the part two.
We
Yeah.
gave y'all the foundation.
And
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
yes, the foundation is
Give
there.
y'all
Yes.
everything.
So there you have it. We're here with the big 3. Another episode in the books of Nothing But Love. See you soon.
Okay. We got the truth juice and
got
the
the
hizza.
truth juice, yeah.
About to pop that thing, right?
Absolutely.
That bottle of Rote Zizzy.
Don't tell them everything.
Nah, you know.
They gonna teach them.
Yeah, look.
Come on, y'all niggas don't know the daytime boys, the hottest niggas in the city, man. Y'all want to do a function, you got to fuck with them niggas, man. They got all the keys to the city. You heard?
That's a fact.
Huh?
That is a fact.
You know what I mean?
That's what we gonna come back.
So we
come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, get this classic footage, man. Behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Daytime boys.
You already know.
But wait.
Courtney's in his house. Huh?
Derek, I want to hear some juicy stories, man. You ain't told nothing juicy.
You done asked him, you gotta ask him some juicy shit.
Yeah, we
We
built
not
it
on
up.
that
We built
point.
it up.
Yeah,
Yeah, we building up to it. Okay, all right, got you.
Yeah, which type of juice?
That's what I want to. That's because I could go.
No, I want you to go.
Yo, my question-
Or you want us to just...
When we come back, I want to know how y'all just stay relevant over these years to stay consistent.
we gonna get on
really,
that.
Because y'all really are it right
I need
now.
some juice.
You know what I'm saying? See?
All right.
Y'all are really it right now.
No, I appreciate
Been
that.
it, but y'all are really it right now for our age group.
Yeah.
Because me and this nigga know a lot of the same people.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's a fact.
Money Mike in the building. Look at Money Mike.
We could lead off on how Cheetah ended.
Okay.
We start with
cool.
that.
Okay.
And then we can
go
get into
okay.
Yeah.
Check my check. 1 2 1 2. Nothing But Love podcast. We got Big 3 in the building.
Nothing but love.
NuttinButLuv.
Episode coming soon.